Oh, man, we're back.
We're back at you.
Here we are at Snarf Talk Central.
Snarf Talk Studios.
I like Snarf Talk Central, don't you? I think that sounds good.
No, I don't like it.
What would you like?
Don't like anything about it.
Of course you wouldn't. You're always against me, Christopher.
We have a guest in the house today.
We do. The same guest, as always. The only
I thought I was
difference
special.
The only difference about him is that he has a beard.
That's right. I look majestic.
Actually, it's a very nice beard, and I'm jealous of it.
Yeah, it's actually not like
way
mine.
better than Chris's. Yes, you're right, Chris.
Let's not go that far. I mean, Chris's is pretty awesome.
Mine was I just had a trim.
It's yours is longer for
Yeah.
sure.
I
Side to
just
side
I
cut.
trimmed mine when I got back from Colorado.
Dude's
so.
just forms his face better, I think. You've got like the wizard. You could have like a crazy wizard beard. You could, because it'll come straight down. Dude's like wraps around his face in like a sweater.
Is he coming on to me right now?
I think so.
I am.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's there is nothing wrong with that. I am just super jealous of people that can have facial hair because I am a child.
So
And
this
still
is the first time in my life where I've actually grown any facial hair, because when I graduated high school and quit college, after that I had to get a job, and then I had to be clean shaving the entire time. I've been employed for the past 22 years. So my mom hasn't even. So
I honestly have never seen you with facial hair before until you recently started growing it. And
Well, I started growing it on behest of my friend was talking me into it after I said to him that Chris, you should no longer have a beard. And
okay.
Yeah,
So-
he told me I would never find a woman.
No, I remember that.
yeah, we had that conversation, and I feel
You
like
said that on the podcast, I believe.
he did,
Yeah.
and I did say that, and Chris, I am forever sorry.
Well,
I don't care.
no, it doesn't matter. You've been married for years with 3 children, so what does it matter?
Yep. But yeah, I like the beard. I tell you what, when you're standing on top of a mountain in Colorado, you
Want to have a beard.
want to have a beard.
So that's
why the mountain men had them.
Yeah.
They didn't have razors.
So that's our first topic of conversation here is that both of you men are traveling the countryside.
Yeah.
Regularly.
It's been like 2 weeks since we recorded.
We haven't recorded in a long time. I've had the recording itch, if you will. You know,
Could call me.
it's a little bit of a, I don't know, what
thank
would you call it? Like a addiction. I think it's an addiction to record. And Chris has been gone, just vagabonding across the country.
He's been at Disney. Don't try.
Well, right. Yeah, it's at Disney. He's been beaten by a mouse. I believe that's what you texted me.
Jerry texted me the other day, the day we were getting back, and he said, are you good to record tonight? And like my plane didn't leave till like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. And this was at like noon.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, why wouldn't we record just on Thursday like we normally do? And then he's like, what did you say?
No, I said, okay. Or you said, you're like, I don't think that is possible since I'm still in Florida. I was like, yeah, I know, but we need to record 2 episodes this week. So I'll be there at 8 o'clock to set everything up. See you then. And you're like, I thought we recorded on Thursdays. Like, why would we record tonight? It's like, I understand, Chris. Like, where did your sarcasm go? Like, did you forget?
Beaten out of me by a mouse.
Did he take
And it
your
was.
checkbook too?
What's that?
Did he take your checkbook too?
Yeah, the mouse did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that mouse is a thief.
Yeah.
But it's worth the memories.
I think so, yeah. Like, Disney's one of those things where there's a lot of pain and suffering in the process. But after you get out of it, you don't remember any of that, and all you remember is the good stuff.
You're right.
He told me the same thing when we went with him, and he's 100% correct.
I'm positive you're right about remembering what was good about it.
And you
You know,
literally
but you are-
don't remember the bad.
You know,
But
we
you're
should all go together next
solidifying
year as a
you're
big group.
solidifying the fact of my argument to begin with about just shelling out so much cash to an amusement park.
Yeah, I mean, it's an experience, Jerry.
It is.
It's a theme park,
And it's
Jerry.
I
also-
get it.
it's
a
We're
theme
going.
park.
We're gonna go.
And
I
it's
mean,
a
I will do the same
vacation,
thing.
and it's not, like I said before, which you've argued with, which you're wrong, is it's not any,
I'll
it's
second
not
that.
particularly more expensive than any other vacation. Any other vacation where you're leaving
is.
your home area,
No, it's not.
or you're flying somewhere.
Right. No,
By the time
you're
you
right.
play for the tickets, and by the time you pay for food, which you're going to pay for anyway,
And actually, I can
hotel, which
stay.
you're going to pay for anyway.
I can stay on the grounds at a military hotel.
Green. Disney
Shades of Green.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically like $90 a night
Yeah. Well, you should do that.
to stay there.
You should do that.
Any veteran can stay there. It's super cheap, but you have to make reservations obviously well in advance, like a year or two in advance.
It's probably not as nice as some of the other
It probably isn't,
resort
but
hotels.
$90 is pretty cheap.
Yeah, but there's other hotels there that are only like 100, 110. The value resorts are like $110, 100 to 110
Oh,
bucks
really?
a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staying off resorts
Oh.
cheaper and nicer.
Yeah, so we had a 3-bedroom townhouse with its own pool and kitchen and everything.
Yeah, I saw that.
For $135 a night.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your own
But-
private pool, you can go there.
So
That's
is
the
it
best part.
better? Wouldn't it be better staying on the park rather than off though? Like
That's the
for your day
debate.
to day.
Yeah, it's debatable. So the downsides of staying off property, right, is that you have to pay parking every day at the parks. It's $20 a day to
Or
park
you
at
can-
Disney.
Or you can Uber, but when you have
Or you
young
can
children,
Uber.
young children, it's
But
not
I mean,
ideal.
with a family of 5, it's very
Right.
hard to.
Yeah.
So
Uber.
A, you got to rent a car first off. B, you have to pay parking, assuming you don't drive down.
Renting a car right there is
Uber, you can Uber
$800,
anywhere in.
$700.
$350 for the week.
So you can
For the
Uber
week.
anywhere
For a
in
minivan.
Orlando, man.
for a van.
Yeah, for a van.
No kidding.
We actually rented a normal size SUV, like a Ford Edge. But when we got to the Alamo rental, they're like, you can
Did
have
you-
anything in this line. And there was like 3 minivans. I'm like, so I can take that minivan? He's like, you can take anything in that line. I'm like, but the minivan.
Yeah, but I want that minivan.
And he's like, is it in the line? I'm like, yep.
it looks like it.
He's like, then you can take it.
So
It's
glad-
really
I'm-
passive aggressive.
I'm glad he made that clear to you.
no, but my question is did you have any like sort of perks, like a credit card reward or anything for your rental car, like something you've been saving,
I paid for the whole trip on credit card points.
even rental card
Yeah.
stuff? That's what I mean.
Everything but our food when we were there.
So I'm saying, like, if somebody were to not have any of those credit card points.
Oh, no. I didn't get a special price. It was $350 for the week for the rental
Oh,
car.
okay. That's what I was.
And
getting
actually,
at, is
we
like,
were there
is
for
there a
9 days,
special-
so it was more
Oh
than a
wow,
week.
you're there for 9 days.
Yeah, he was gone for a long time,
Or
and I've
8,
missed him.
8 days. I don't know.
There's been
so
a hole in my heart.
Getting back to it, the downsides is you got to rent a car, and you have to pay the parking every day. The upsides is for about the same price as a regular hotel room,
Yeah,
you have a house with its own pool.
which it was nice. Looked nice especially for the kids.
But the great thing with kids is you don't have to. So the downside of Disney transportation is they're mostly buses.
Love buses.
And when you get on a bus, you have to fold up all your strollers.
Yep.
Hate buses.
And if you stay for the fireworks at 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and you wait an hour or half an hour to get on a bus to go back, and your kids are all sleeping, and you have to juggle 3 children and 2 strollers and folding them up and getting onto a bus,
Sounds so great.
not great. But when you can just walk out to the parking lot, put the sleeping children in their car seats, load up your strollers, and drive home.
Unless you stay at the
Golden.
Contemporary or Bay Lake Towers, then you can walk there from.
Yeah, but those are really expensive.
Yeah, that's right up Jerry's alley.
No,
your
it's
government job.
Yeah.
It's not.
So, I mean, we like staying off property. And then to get around that, Marley had an annual pass. So that gets you free parking, 20% off all merchandise, 10% off all dining, or 20% off all dining.
Nice.
Because we had went with Beerus's, and we ended up going. I had to go to a work conference thing, that Commodity Classic
Yeah.
in Orlando the next year. So I'm like, well, everybody might as well tag along. We'll go to Disney some of the days.
Sure.
Well, they ended up crediting us for the entire trip that we took a year before.
It was actually only a few more months, wasn't it?
No, it was
was a whole
almost a
year.
whole year.
'Cause we
It was
went 18.
11 months
We went 18.
earlier.
Oh, okay.
And we went in there and we're like, well, we went like 11 months ago. So can you credit that, those 10 or what were they, 7 days of
5
tickets
days, yeah, 5
towards our
days.
annual pass? And she's like, yeah, I can do that, but your annual pass will expire like in 2 weeks when the year would be up.
Right.
But we did that, and then she renewed it because you get a discount to renew it.
Okay.
So it ended up not really costing that much more. By the time we saved the money on the parking and the discounts, like it easily paid for the annual pass. And only
sure.
one person needs
What-
it. Not all of us need it.
Oh, one person has to
Yeah.
get the annual pass.
Right.
What is an annual pass cost?
They're expensive.
they?
They're about $1,000, $950, something
But
like
that gets everyone in the park.
one person
With-
with the annual pass.
But that one person can bring everyone else in.
No, they
Is
get
that what you're
it's
saying?
their ticket.
Yeah.
They have a ticket. They can go to Disney all year long.
Okay.
That one person.
So how does it cover everyone?
But their parking can cover
Oh,
one
just
vehicle.
the part. It's just the parking.
Or you still get the discounts. Like if Marley buys the food or Marley buys the merchandise, we get to use the discounts.
Gotcha. I see
So
that.
we kind of played a little bit of a game there to get that all figured out. But, I don't know how much we saved by it. But, I mean, just $20 a day in parking alone.
That's quite a
The
bit.
difference between the regular ticket costs was like $450 versus $900. So we only had to save,
$180? Because
No.
that's what you saved on parking.
yes, but over the course of 2 trips,
Oh, I see.
plus all of the discounts on the dining and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
The dining's where they get you.
I gotcha. What I'm really interested in is where Dude went. Because Dude was on the other side of the country doing something that I love.
Me too. One of my favorite things in the world.
So
Well, I love
being cold in the snow.
skiing.
Okay.
I've never snowboarded.
So I've skied multiple times, and me and my brother has been talking about wanting to actually learn how to snowboard.
So just start off with telling us where you went.
So we went to Colorado Keystone Resort. And
Keystone Resort. So
Keystone
you were
Mountain.
drinking some Keystone.
no,
Nice.
did not
Good-
drink one Keystone.
good
We had
drink.
some Coors Light and some very delicious craft beers. But we decided to learn how to go out there on Thursday morning. We took lessons on Friday morning how to snowboard. Skied all day Saturday, or snowboarded all day Saturday. About died.
So is it hard? Is it harder? It's a lot harder than
Definitely
skiing.
Oh
harder than
God, it's so
skiing.
much. But so the principle of it is
Because you're,
When
it's
you-
like a skateboard.
yes, but well, it's
I think. That's what I think.
So when you're turning, your toes go down one way, and your heel goes down on the other.
like a
And
hoverboard.
Oh, wait,
it's
you- like
exactly
you have to
like a
be-
hoverboard. Other you're not going forward with your toes.
You're going sideways.
And
But wait, you
so
have to be opposite with your heel?
This toe heel is opposite to turn. So you got
Ah.
your toe turns, you got heel turns, and you just put your toes one way, and you're cutting back and forth. And if you dig in too hard, your toes, it's face plant. So,
Yes.
So I was
Hard.
just I had a hard time with my toe turns because of my left side. So I was just flopping the board
Because you got
around.
a big toe. You got really big toes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the problem.
So I was just flipping the board around and doing heel turns all the way down the hill. But we had a blast. We almost got snowing in on Sunday. But you think Disney's expensive?
Yeah.
The mountains.
Oh,
are-
really?
Skiing is way more expensive
Way
than
more
Disney.
expensive.
Is it really?
It is
Because
not.
that's the trip I wanted to take. It's like a...
So
you think Disney's expensive? Wait till you buy lift tickets.
So,
No, I have
so
no
for,
idea.
for 3 people, one day, just for lift tickets, not gear, not lessons, $500. Yeah. So we got
Jeez.
4 runs in on Saturday, and we were exhausted. But the 4 runs were an hour to get down the mountain. So
Oh,
on Saturday,
my
so
gosh.
so we
an
got
hour to get down
You've
the
never
mountain.
skied in Colorado?
No,
have you?
I've
So-
never...
Oh, it's amazing.
So we got 3 foot of snow by the time we landed on Thursday till Saturday morning. So all of Denver came out to the mountains.
Oh, of
and
course.
It took them forever to get there.
Of course.
So by the time we walked right out of our condo, right onto the ski lift, started at 8:30 in the morning. So by 1:30, we're shot. The main gondola shut down, and there's an hour wait to get on the ski lift. So we're like, done. Went to the bar.
Yeah, but, I mean, you still got to ski.
It
It's like-
was amazing.
or snowboard,
Yeah,
whatever.
well,
and
yeah, just to be out there was a cool experience.
When we skied in Steamboat, the top there's lots of lifts you can take. Obviously, but the big gondola, the enclosed one,
Yeah.
took you to the top, very top of the mountain.
And
it was
the
a-
summit, Chris. It's the
Summit.
Summit.
It was about a
Come on.
mile up.
use the language.
It was about 5,000 something feet to the very top.
That's incredible.
And I mean, obviously, how fast you ski down it just depends. But you know, you're talking. You could easily take an hour to get down the mountain. They're taking different
But you're,
runs, and
you're
you're,
talking
gonna stop.
about a
Yeah.
mile.
Right, but you're gonna stop. It's exhausting. So you're gonna stop. You're gonna do one run. You're gonna
Yep.
stop for a little bit.
So
You might go back up a little side lift, take a different
Yeah,
run.
drink lot. So I got Thursday night when I landed. The second I got off the plane, bam, headache. I got altitude sickness.
yeah.
Oh
that-
my God,
that can hit you.
And I didn't. You always hear about it. You're like, yeah, okay. How bad can it be? My Al wanted to take me to the hospital. It was. I mean, I was
Really?
I had a headache so bad I couldn't see. So I just started down in water till I got a stomach ache. Waited half an hour. Started down in more water. and it eventually went away.
It went away.
Yeah.
Your body like got used to it. But that's so we went to Cheyenne. Cheyenne, Wyoming is actually higher than what like Denver, Colorado is. It's
Really?
like 7,000 feet.
I don't know. Did you know that?
Yeah.
No, I've been to Cheyenne though.
So have I.
It's like 7,200 feet in Cheyenne. Like that's like the base
Right.
altitude. And so when my mom and dad went out there, my dad obviously has smoked since he was 14 years old, was dying
Yeah.
for the extended trip that they were out there. And you can feel it. Like when you first got out there, you can feel it. It feels like you are.
You can feel it from the base of the mountain to the top
Yeah.
at Steamboat. So I don't know what the base altitude is. It's
had
it's higher
never-
than Denver.
It's 10,000.
Well, I had never been.
At Keystone, it's 10,000. So when you go to the summit, it's like 13,000.
Oh, yeah, that's way higher. But I had never been anywhere that was that high, and I didn't think Cheyenne was that high. And then the only reason I knew is because my brother-in-law, he's in the Air Force, and he was doing like PT tests and whatnot. And he said his first PT test he took, he failed miserably. He's like, I can't run here. He's like, and then I realized the altitude is so high that I could not breathe like I could before. So he had to do, so they went up a mountain to do training and stuff to be in a higher altitude to do the training, which was harder. So when you came back down to the normal altitude that they would do the test at, it was easier for him to do. And he told me the altitude that they were at, and it was like 7,200 feet. I was like, that's like the base? Like that's what we're at right now? Because I thought I was like just wicked out of shape and terrible. Like we were just walking around the block, and we went golfing one day, and him and I went golfing, and I was like, I feel awful.
So
after 9 holes, I felt so terrible.
So it turns out when you're out of shape and you go on a mountain to do
Yeah.
strenuous sports, or
Yeah. It was.
we were done.
It was
just
something.
shot. And Al runs, and Matt started running just for this trip so we'd be in shape. They're both keeled over, and I was ready to literally have a heart attack. It was awesome.
And you're in relatively good shape.
I'm in real healthy, but I tell you what, there is a lot of marijuana out there.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
everywhere.
it's free.
Everywhere. It's not free.
I remember
It's free.
this one
It's free
time
to
we
everyone.
went to the summit at Steamboat, and it had just snowed the night before. And the Steamboat's kind of famous for champagne powder, they call it. So you get way up high in that altitude, and there's no density to the air or the snow.
Yeah, it's like,
dry. I didn't realize how
It's dry, yeah.
So it was 11 degrees out, which it's 11 degrees out now here. We weren't cold at all.
No, you're not cold.
At all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, especially if you're skiing around because you're.
Oh,
Well, yeah, you have.
just standing around. I mean, waiting for stuff. You're not cold.
But the dry cold is
It's kind of like
warmer than a wet cold.
And there's, it depends how windy it is too. But
Well, it's like the saying, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
The same principle.
Well,
So-
I've been in a dry heat.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
still
it?
hot.
It's like an oven.
we get off the top of this lift in this champagne powder, and everybody was going crazy that morning. And so we get down on this main run, and the powder is more than waist high. So it flows around you like air.
Really?
Yeah, it's the most crazy thing you've ever experienced. So your feet, are on the packed snow down below, but there is snow up to your waist, but it has no density to it. It just flows around you like air. Like
That's wild.
it's
That is so wild.
Awesome. I want to go do that.
it's crazy. So I'm looking over. I'm skiing next to Dougie Ogden, and we're skiing,
Oh, really?
He's skiing on left of me, and we're
That's a name I ain't heard in a
waving
while.
and whatever.
I just
and
saw
then
him
all of
the
a
other
sudden,
day.
poof, he just disappears. And I'm like,
Sounds like Doug.
and we're like on a flat run, and
that
he
sounds
just
like-
disappears. I'm like, what happened? So we stop. Well, he just went into a hole, and just front of the skis caught, went into a hole, just gone
died.
into the.
He's
into-
dead.
Into the champagne powder.
Into the champagne powder, but it only happened once in about 6 years or so of going out there. That was the only time, that one time, and
I'm positive that's what I'm going to name this episode.
champagne powder.
Into the champagne powder.
There you go.
But no, I love skiing in Colorado is it's not even worth going to even try to ski around here.
So
after you do that.
And I
the
love
only
it.
thing I would
love
do,
skiing around here.
you will never do it again. This is my
There's
first
no
experience.
reason to ever do it again around
There's
here.
not. There's no reason to go to Wisconsin
But I mean-
except to teach your children before you go all the way out there.
Well, I mean, my thing is like, I will never, like, if I don't ever go out there, I don't ever get to ski then.
Just
if I
go
don't
out
go
there.
Around here.
Go out
No,
there.
I know, but I'm saying
You
like,
got a flight for $120.
why not go just a little bit north and ski at Cascade for a little while and have fun, and then go out to Denver, like you said, like teach the kids.
You can drive it in
Cascade.
13 hours. I know because we did it on the way back.
That's what we did, Cheyenne, 13 hours.
So 2:30 in the morning on Sunday morning, Saturday night, how you want to look at it. We're supposed to fly out at noon on Sunday to come back. Phone goes off, middle of the night. I'm like, somebody's dying. You know, so you look at your phone, like, flight's canceled. How could the flight be canceled at 2:30 in the morning? It's at noon. So me and Matt were on the same flight. My older brother was flying out at noon also from Denver to North Carolina. I walk out, I go, our flight get canceled? He's like, yeah. He goes, check the weather, because we were supposed to get another foot of snow Sunday morning. Well, we'd already gotten 3 inches, and they're going to close 170. So we already had our bags packed. So we jump in the car at 3 o'clock in the morning and start driving towards the airport. It took us 3 hours to get out of the mountains.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, then when we get to the airport, everything's booked for the day. As soon as we could get back was 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday afternoon. So Matt goes, we're going to effing drive it. I'm like, oh, all right. So we went. So
Every time we ever went, we drove.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean,
It's not.
Nebraska is a long
And we went to
state.
Steamboat, which is, it's a good 2 or 3 hours past Denver.
Yeah.
And
Is it further west?
So they're all west of everything's west of Denver.
It's northwest. We'd actually fly last couple times we went to Cheyenne and then down.
Yeah, because
really?
if you take 80 goes literally straight to Cheyenne.
Yep.
And it's 13 hours or 12 and a half, whatever, to Cheyenne. But then Denver is an hour and a half, like straight south.
Yeah.
Like literally straight south on 45.
It would take us like 18 hours or something to get to Steamboat usually.
I know. I learned a very valuable lesson in Nebraska.
What's that?
There's only 2 things: gas wells and cattle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Casey's. They got a lot of Casey's.
Matt counted.
There's
32 from Denver to Morris, Illinois. We counted on the sides.
I would have figured more than
I'm
that.
Sure there's more than
Well,
that
there's more
too.
than that, but that's only on the highway side.
Because if you, going through,
exits.
there was 32 before you even got out of Iowa on 80.
So wait, you drove a rental car
Yeah.
and you returned it back here?
Yeah, in Morris.
Huh.
Well, so first we.
So that's what the government does.
So
like, on a
we
lot of
shoved Al
trips.
on the airplane, like, bye, Al. And so we went back to Hertz. It's like, oh, it's going to cost you $500. And we're like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm like, there's one in Morris. We can just drop it off there. He's like, let's go price it.
At an
Guy's like-
enterprise, yeah.
He's like, $35 a day. We're like,
Deal.
You're lucky. Lots of times they don't let you return to a different location.
Yeah,
No, they will.
Not
always.
He messed up. It was not supposed to be one way. It was
No,
not
but
supposed to be $35. The manager messed up.
Well, I don't
and
know
they
what the
quoted us
prices
wrong.
would be, but it is more advantageous for the government to pay for you to take a rental car to wherever your training is going to be and keep it there and then drive it back at the end of the week than it is to pay for a flight. It is almost always cheaper.
I don't know. All I know is we were gonna rent a car to drive down to Florida once, and then another time to Arkansas, but not drive it back. And there were one-way trips. I don't remember the circumstances, but neither time they would let us. It just depends on the destination and
It also depends
Where?
the time of the year
and where the cars are in demand. and
Because
it's
the
easy.
guy in Morris is one that told us
Maybe-
he goes, they messed up. They should not have given you that rate. I'm like, well, could you
I don't
duplicate
care.
that rate?
Yeah. I don't care
like,
what
'cause-
you say.
I'm like, because if you can duplicate that rate, you're going to get a lot of business from my friends because I won't drive my own car anymore to
Yeah.
go to $35 a day to go on vacation.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, where have you gone lately?
To work.
Oh, man, that sounds interesting.
It's so great. No, it's not. Thank you for rubbing that
Well, you
in.
don't have work on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't. I
come
don't
in-
work on Monday at all.
I'm surprised you worked
And
yesterday
I
and
got to
Friday.
go work on Monday. Otherwise
Or you
we
don't
hang
work
out.
Friday.
I don't work Friday. That's
I don't work
silly.
Friday either.
Why would you even say that? Like Friday? Why
You
would
on
I
four
work
tens
that
now?
day? Yeah,
It's a great schedule.
it's so good.
It's awesome.
It's
Like,
so good.
Thursday night,
I
that-
literally hate you people.
Love it.
why?
It would be amazing.
I mean, the alcohol
I'll
pump,
work for you.
the old alcohol pump turns on Thursday night and doesn't shut off till
I couldn't
Sunday
even
afternoon,
imagine
man.
what it
Chris.
would be like to have 3-day weekends every weekend.
I will work for
I've been
you on
doing-
Fridays if you pay me the same.
Pay you
Deal.
the same as what?
The government does.
No.
Deal. I'll take you. I'll second that. I'll come work for you if you pay me. the
Why?
same.
No.
I'll work twice as hard as your other employees.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I can't fire them to hire you because then I wouldn't have them Monday through Thursday.
So what you're going to get is like 4 times the amount of work done in one day.
That's not how it works.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I think his math's off somehow.
Just
I'm
start-
not sure, but
Just start giving me the money and I'll show you the product.
No, I've been working 410s for 19 years.
You have? I didn't know.
I've been at the plant for
So
19
great.
years.
All right, we're gonna get into.
You haven't
the
been on
news.
410s the whole time though.
I go on outages here and there, but my scheduled work week is 410s, a Monday through Friday.
I thought that was new for you,
No,
like the last couple of years.
You understand Monday through Friday is 5 days, right?
Sorry, Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
I've had that day I hired in.
That's what I would love because 8 days or 8-hour days is
Hey.
ridiculous. It's like no time.
It is ridiculous, but guess what?
But
What?
you know what happened?
You own you own your companies,
Right.
and you can't have those.
No, I work 7 days a week.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so quit
I work
crying
8
about
days
it.
a week.
Well, you
Quit
know what?
crying about it.
So do you
about
know where
it,
it
and-
stems from? Is it's an EPA thing where you're not having your employees drive an extra day. It's supposed to cut down on emissions and all that.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Fucking
could.
tree
For a
huggers.
petrochemical company.
Save the world.
That's us.
He does.
Our employees only drive 4 days a week.
We're the greenest petrochemical plastic company in the
You see,
world.
don't worry about that big flare in the sky. It doesn't hurt.
We're
anything.
burning it off,
We
guys.
literally produce microplastics that are destroying the ocean. Like,
Hey, it pays for the Bears household. And
You
my
like eating that
lifestyle.
fish? Good luck eating our plastic.
it never leaves your gut.
That's right.
Half of our
Plastic-
colons will be full of
Great fiber.
microplastics.
Great fiber.
There's a lot of plastic items in our household. Let me tell you that. Got to support
I mean,
my life.
Everyone's household, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can't get
So-
away from it.
so-
Even if you try to get away from it,
We
you
had-
cannot get away from
There
it.
was this old guy at work, and his wife wrapped his sandwiches in tinfoil because that's how her mother did it.
Okay.
My mom does that.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't work at a plastics factory and wrap your sandwiches in tinfoil when you sell plastic to Ziploc bags. It's like we ridiculed that guy so
But
bad.
like, you really need to support.
I mean,
no, we don't. But it's just the
Are you
point.
like the elitist?
Yeah, well, we gotta support the plastic
Come on,
industry,
well,
guys.
You gotta understand. This guy's name was Gene. He had a heart of gold, but he was such a dork,
Oh,
man.
it's because his name was
We-
Gene.
Well, we were bullying him, and I don't feel bad about it. Hey,
No,
so
I
Chris, what do you-
support the aluminum industry
Yeah.
more than I do the plastics.
Why is that?
It's a renewable resource.
It's a renewable resource.
So it's plastic,
No, it's not biodegradable.
and aluminum is
Yeah,
Yes.
of course it is.
It's aluminum. Aluminium.
aluminum. Oh, that is. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It's
How-
an element.
disintegrates.
It's literally
So does
an
pla-
element of the earth.
But plastic
plastic.
does not disintegrate
Ever.
ever.
I wouldn't say ever. Just really long.
No,
time.
ever.
Like there will be.
You have to
Really long
refine
time.
it. You have to refine
Have you ever
it.
seen like there was a documentary on like the end of the earth, and like all of the concrete will be gone.
that's just
Every
propaganda.
building, and even past the time when brick, because brick lasts like millennia
A long
later
time,
than
yeah.
concrete.
Yeah.
All of every element of evidence of human life will be gone, like say in a
guys are-
million years,
Okay.
except for all the plastic.
You guys are a bunch of tree huggers. You were vote for Bernie Sanders. I know it.
That has nothing to do with it.
Neither here nor
It's
there.
just the fact that plastic never goes away.
Yeah. So you're
it's-
basically an evil
You're the worst.
enabler.
And you guys just figured this out.
And
I mean, I am contributing to removing carbon dioxide from our atmosphere.
So do you spray dicamba on your beans?
Nope. And that has nothing to do with it anyway.
I just
I'm
asking
trying to
just
keep
right.
Asian carp out of the Great Lakes.
Yeah,
but
you-
I plant
yeah.
trees and
Trying to.
corn and soybeans brings like lowers our carbon footprint.
Let's talk about the news.
This,
All I want to get to is the news because I've
We do
got
what you're
so
drinking
many
tonight?
news stories. Like I've got so many news stories because we've been off air for so long.
I got a little bit crazy. That's what I'm drinking.
Oh, I just drink Busch
And
Light.
a little anti-hero.
That's very good. Do you have more of that? Can I have
Yeah.
more?
I
hey,
guess
so what's in the cup, Jerry?
Busch Light.
No, it's in the other cup.
Oh, that's Maker's Mark.
Man.
Oh, and I do have a little bit of story. When I went to the gas station to buy this, there was a lady at the gas station. Oh, that's what Jerry wanted, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey,
And she was
You're
at the
welcome,
counter and she was checking out. and there was a huge problem. They couldn't
Checking
get,
you out?
Yeah, she was
she hot?
She was checking me out.
I
So she was purchasing 4 Rockstar energy drinks, a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew, and
okay.
Pack of cigarettes.
2 bottles of Gatorade.
What's wrong with that?
The problem is that they were having trouble because the scanner card wasn't working for her food stamp card.
I didn't see it coming.
But
saw that
they
coming.
got it running.
Foods, of course they
So
do.
she got her food stamp
Did
card
she have diabetes too?
to purchase all that. And then in a separate transaction, she purchased 4 packs of cigarettes and $20 worth of scratch-off tickets.
Oh my gosh. So here's the deal. I don't have anything against food
So what
stamps.
stretches your springs?
No,
That stretches my springs. Enough that I said something.
yeah, that does. So that's an issue. I don't have anything against like EBT cards and people using these things to feed and
Or EPTs, the airproof test.
that had nothing to do with what we're talking about.
That was
I have no
exactly the point, Jerry.
I get it. I don't have a problem with people having these things. It's just that we live in a very small town. Obviously,
Every experience you
small town
have.
area, and every experience I've ever had, you've ever had, dude's ever had, when you go to a gas station and somebody is using one of those cards or whatever other means they have to pay for them from the government, they're always getting beer, cigarettes, and junk.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yep.
Well, you
It's
can't get
not
beer and
like-
cigarettes with food stamps.
Nope.
Oh, you
cannot.
can't?
No.
But apparently you can get
EBT
energy
you
drinks.
can.
Well, EBT is welfare. Food
Well,
stamps and welfare are different.
I understand.
Different cards. One's SNAP, one's EBT.
I understand that, but it's still a government-funded thing.
Yeah, but technically, I mean, I guess to be fair,
To be fair,
EBT could be disability benefits.
it could be. You're right.
But
And if you are disabled, that's
person was
fine.
not disabled.
We're getting dangerously close to start talking about politics here.
I know.
It's not politics.
That's
It's not politics. I don't think that you should be on welfare using welfare money to buy energy drinks
I agree.
at gas stations on top of it where it's triple the price.
Right.
And then in a separate transaction
So-
using buying $20 worth of
That's
scratch off
always
tickets
been my
and 4 packs
question.
of cigarettes that cost $8 a pack.
That's always been my question, is that why are these people going to gas stations to buy this
Because
stuff?
they don't care. It's not their
No.
money.
But you're spending you could
Well,
get 3 times
so
as
see,
much
They're
at
probably
Walmart.
get so much
Or-
money
Yeah,
on these
it's-
things they
they're-
can't even use it all.
Yeah. My opinion is if you want
gosh.
to go, if this is, it's not cost effective, but if you want to be on welfare, you need to pass a drug test. That's my opinion.
Well,
I
they
don't care
started.
about that.
They
I
started
don't-
doing that.
I don't think
They-
I
in,
don't
in certain states.
Yeah. I mean, they should do it in Illinois.
personally.
Well,
I don't
don't-
see the point of that
Why?
because
Like I said, it's not cost
one
effective.
thing doesn't. First of all, it's expensive drug
Yeah.
testing.
It is. That's why.
And one thing doesn't have anything to do with the other thing. Like if somebody legitimately,
How can you not see the
The correlation.
correlation?
Okay, because there's people that legitimately need to be on welfare, and there's
Yeah.
people that legitimately have drug problems,
Yeah.
and it's a complicated thing. It's not as cut and dry as
Well, yeah, I understand that, but the majority.
Well, it
I'm
can
gonna
be.
go on a limb here, but a lot of people who choose not to work and who are
But now you're confusing two subjects. Are they choosing
That's
not
where I was
to work,
going.
or are you talking about drugs?
They are abusing.
No, but I mean-
people who abuse. So here's the problem: people who abuse the system are going to cause those problems, and that's why you have to have them drug test everybody.
I think what's more
No.
important than drug testing is limiting the amount of time they can be on these programs
Yeah,
when not working.
Right.
I agree.
But-
I mean,
This
You
lady
can-
also told me she had 3 kids at home. Just by the way,
You can
pour a little
also
salt on that
enforce.
bone, Chris.
You can also enforce a drug test on people that are getting these funds, unless you go to if they're going to some sort of a
got something for news,
therapy
I didn't make a
or
note.
a what's that, like a rehab facility, and get paperwork that they could send in.
get
and
that
say,
paper.
Yeah, they get that paper that says, I'm in this rehab facility. I'm doing this thing to overcome my addiction. Then you could be accepted in the program. But if you try to get in the program and fail a drug test without the exception of being in a rehab program or something else, like right now, marijuana should not be considered
Oh, but it is
part of that.
We just fired 2 people at our plant for popping positive.
It's federally still illegal.
Yeah,
You can't fire somebody for getting a positive drug test.
You can.
Yeah.
It's federally
if they're
illegal.
at work.
They're at work and they
Yes.
passed positive. We fired 2 people this week.
They might have some problems with that.
No,
Why?
it's
'Cause they passed-
federally illegal.
No, they took that out. They took all that stuff out.
In the state law?
Yeah, if you don't pass the drug test, if your company requires you to pass the drug test.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I tried to tell you on another podcast is that federally it's still illegal.
It's illegal
across the board.
It's the same
no
thing
matter
as you
what.
come to work drunk.
So the state
Yeah,
legalized it.
But I was at a meeting for our association, and it doesn't matter if you're employed. It might for you because you're a federal employee.
Well, right.
But if you work in a job in the state of
does for me.
Illinois, the law in the state of Illinois says that an employer. This was a meeting that I was at for employers
right.
to teach us about the new laws.
No, you're right. But a plant that is a chemical based or petroleum based or whatever is federally regulated. Therefore, they have to go by federal regulation on that plant for safety and or drug concerns.
My guess is if they fired them for that, the way they got away from it, because there is one little loophole in that. And the loophole is, so the loophole would be that you cannot be high at work.
Right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's the problem with the marijuana
But the
test.
testing is such that if you test positive, whether you're high or not,
You've been high at work, technically.
well,
If you
not
fail it-
necessarily.
if you
they
fail
have
it-
no way of knowing, so they have the justification to fire you.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is Jerry's right.
I'm always right.
It's federally
dude.
illegal, and if you test positive at work, you are fired. That's the end of it. Until they come up with a test to see if you are high right now.
I wouldn't, as an employer, I'm just saying, because that's my only concern in this matter. There's no way I'd even think,
As a private
there's no
employer
way I
like
would
you,
open
wouldn't.
myself
No.
up to that kind of litigation possibility, because according to the state law, you
Right.
cannot fire an employee in the state of Illinois
But iTrees
No,
or
they
Hartford
took
for
Right.
Farms,
using
out.
marijuana. No,
I
they
tr-
did not.
iTrees or Hartford Farms is not Lyondell.
It doesn't matter.
It
They
does.
took all that stuff out at the last minute.
It does matter. Like
I don't
If you
think
test
so.
if your company requires a drug test and they test positive, they can fire you, state of Illinois, because marijuana is still an illegal substance in the eyes of the federal government.
correct.
The same thing as heroin
Correct.
or a prescription drug that
Anyways,
is not prescribed to you.
All I want to do is get to the news. I've got so
Let's
many
get to the
news
news.
stories.
Let-
I've got
let's do it.
So
God.
many news stories that we need to tackle. And the first one happened today.
Oh yeah, is this one?
The very first one I want to talk about
Okay.
happened today, literally just a few hours ago.
Oh, I know what he's going.
I was
for.
watching a little video of a new Batman movie that's coming out next year. It's not coming out till like November of 2021, but it's a new Batman movie. Director is Matt Reeves. The star is Robert Pattinson, and they are calling it The Batman.
Yes.
And they put out a little teaser, like a camera test, if you will, of his suit. And they put Robert Pattinson in his suit, and they have a red noir style video of him in the background. It's really dark for a while, and then they zoom in, and you can see like his chest. The chest of the suit looks as if 2 batarangs.
Well, it's very Arkham. At first, it reminds me of the Arkham suit, where the bat comes together and moves.
Yes.
But as it scrolls
lo-
up,
It looks like 2 batarangs as the symbol in his suit, so where he could possibly remove the symbol of his suit. And then, yes, it comes up, and you see his immaculate jawline. I mean,
well,
have you ever seen
Is it like a
a
Ben
jaw?
Affleck jawline?
I think he's a
That's
little bit
better.
You're a
I
little
think
bit in
it's
love,
better.
aren't you?
You know, is this
With Batman, yes. Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson, no. But his jawline is just so accentuated.
It looks pretty good.
was this teaser footage like on purpose? Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely like a removable
It is.
batarang of some type. It's very angular.
It is.
The suit,
It-
it looks like armor.
So did you look at the mask?
Just the batarang, though. is that way.
Well, but no, the rest of it's very angular if
Yeah.
you look at it. And the helmet is very slight.
It's not a helmet, though.
It's a mask.
So if you can use your phone or whatever you're watching the video on, if you can find a picture of it, if you zoom in on the cowl on his face, it's actually stitched. So if you look around
So it looks
his nose,
more like Daredevil's from the Netflix show.
It does, but
Well,
it
see-
reminds me more of an older style
Which
Batman
means you've talked
costume.
about like a year one.
even maybe a Batman the Animated
Yeah, I'm
series.
looking at his stitch. It does. It looks very similar to the Daredevil.
It does. It
Cowl.
does.
Well,
Absolutely. That's the first thing I thought because of the red highlighting as well, though.
Well, but and also like looks like leather.
it looks like
and
leather.
So if
Yes.
you look at the collar, his batsuit actually has a collar on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to the original Batman comic book, the purple suit, I want to call it.
Yeah.
Jerry knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
If you're a Batman fan, you
But
know
there's
what I'm
also a Kelly Jordan. Kelly Jordan drew a Batman suit with the really big, tall ears.
Yes, that's that's exactly what it looks like.
So that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's
I
what it's gonna
assume.
be.
Well,
But here's what I wanted to talk about is that I think they're going for a steampunkish type
I hope.
Kinda looks
Batman
like it.
costume, and which goes back to like a Batman the Animated Series type costume. I know it's not the same with the tall ears, but think about that Batman.
Well, there's a steampunk Batman.
There is, yeah,
Yeah,
in
I-
Gotham by Gaslight.
Gotham
it,
by
yes.
Gaslight, yeah.
But think about like,
But it doesn't look like that suit.
but
No,
even
not at
Batman
all.
the Animated Series was somewhat steampunk
that
because
wasn't
you had
steampunk. What that was like 50s.
It was
It didn't
not
have a-
retro.
it didn't have a year.
Deco.
They
yeah,
had
Art Deco.
Art Deco. Very Art Deco.
You're right. Because there was airships.
Yep.
They had airships. They had old school 50s type vehicles, but people dressed modern. Like you had modern dressed people. Like there was no specific era to Batman the Animated Series.
See, that's what I loved about it because there was not a lot of technology. I mean,
and I think that's what they're doing with
It
this
definitely
movie.
looks like it's interesting. They look like football shoulder pads. Really, they're like separate shoulder pads.
So what I'm reading up on it is supposed to highlight more of his detective skills.
Yes. So this is what I was going to get into.
Go ahead.
Is that the suit itself is depicting what the movie's going to be like because you can't have a Batman that's going to be super physical and
I disagree.
and fighting people and not be protected.
Yeah.
He's going to be more of a detective, like in the background, sneaking around. Like you don't want to get in big brawls and fights if you're not protected.
No,
right?
they had problems shooting this because Robert Pattinson is having trouble putting weight on for the role. Like he can't get the weight to bulk up to be Batman.
Well, I mean, I understand that you want the character itself to be,
But that
like,
is
physically
but Jerry,
fit, but
that
I'm
is
saying,
Batman.
like-
He is all those things. He is a hugely physical person.
You're right. I'm
Plus
just saying what I think they're going to do with this movie is that since it's going to be more of a detective role, he's going to be hiding in the shadows, like more sleek, more hiding in the
Yeah,
shadows.
Christian
more,
Bale wasn't bulked up.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
He was a pretty
he's
slight Batman compared to Ben Affleck.
Oh my God! Did you see his
you
transformation?
see?
He went from the mechanic. It was the machinist to that.
He's
No, that
pretty big.
Did you see the ones going from the Machinist to when he played Dick Cheney?
Is that what?
Yeah, that's the one with the big
no,
belly.
no.
It was the machinist to Batman.
He filmed the Machinist. It's not the Machinist. It's something else.
No, it's the Machinist, and he got down to like 85.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like
The
100
very
pounds.
next movie he did was Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I know. I'm talking like this last year. He did one where he was Dick Cheney, and he was
That was
like
2
big.
years
He put
ago.
on like
Fat.
200 pounds.
Super
Yeah.
fat. Yeah.
And they showed the difference, and it was insane.
Yeah, it
but yeah,
is.
I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't fit for Batman, but he wasn't big. He wasn't big like Ben Affleck was big.
I don't think you have to be big to be Batman.
No, you do. You look
Not
at the
in the
comic book.
slightest.
Batman's a huge person. Look
No,
at Dark.
he's not. In some of
He
them,
is.
Look
in
at the
Dark
Dark Knight Returns. He's huge.
in some of the
In
iterations,
all of them,
yes,
he's a big man. He has to be a big man because you see what
no,
he does.
I
in the-
think what you're trying to put me down as a small person.
No,
And
oh
I
my
think
God,
this is
Jerry! I
ridiculous.
haven't made a short joke yet this episode.
We literally sang a song together that was about how terrible short people were.
Well,
He
So
was-
up yours.
He was.
that was your idea to sing it.
I would say in
Shut your mouth.
I would say in most iterations, he's big. He's not small.
In most, but
he doesn't have any superpowers. He doesn't have superpowers. He has to be big. That's the whole point behind Batman.
True.
He's big and fast.
Big, fast, and highly intelligent.
The Flash isn't big, but he can run fast. I get it.
But he's got a superpower.
Daredevil's not a huge, big, like...
In the comics, he's pretty big.
He's buff. I mean...
Not in the Netflix show. I'll give you that. But in the comics, he's pretty
like
big.
a regular statured person. In almost all of the comics.
He'd be a heavyweight if he was a boxer.
I would agree with that.
I don't think so.
For sure.
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen his father, Battling Jack Murdoch? He was big too.
Yes, I have. But he's like dude size.
I'm only $175, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that these people are not that big. They're 175, 180. They're normal sized people.
I think if you go to the Batman Wikipedia page,
Daredevil is 200 pounds.
So how much is
200 pounds? So he's like
Batman.
Dude.
200 pounds is fighting heavyweight.
He's dude size with more muscle.
He just said he's 175 pounds.
With more muscle, I'm saying.
A lot more muscle.
I mean, like 25 pounds more.
Muscle.
You know
if
how
he
much
had
more
25 pounds of muscle on him, he'd be huge.
No.
He's 6 feet tall. If he had 25 pounds of muscle on him, he'd be gigantic.
I'm 6 foot tall, $175.
Yeah.
32-inch waist.
You're thin. Very thin. Frail, almost. Because I weigh 170.
Okay,
how much does Batman pay? Wait, you want to know?
Here's the ridiculous part.
According to scientificamerican.com.
215.
210.
210. Small.
Boom.
That's considered obese by the
very small guy
standards of our
confined government. Once again, Jerry, you are proven wrong by Google.
But here's the ridiculous part is that I weigh 170 pounds right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're 6 foot tall and I'm 5'5" and weigh 170, I mean, you're kind of a small man.
I also have a six-pack, Jerry.
That's what I'm saying. Batman would be huge.
You said
he would be small. We said he would be huge.
But he would have a lot more muscle, but be like a relatively slight man.
People don't have a lot of muscle.
He's like a cat. He's backing himself into a corner. Don't push him. Don't push him.
He could be. I didn't say he was going to be short. Short and small are
Chris,
two different things.
Did we just win that argument?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No.
Thank you.
So who was, do you know who the biggest Batman was?
It doesn't matter. Robert Pattinson is still Batman, and he's still going to be a slight guy.
On screen, Batman.
It's got to be Ben.
Ben, big time.
Because to me, he did a great Batman and Bruce Wayne.
I don't know
I think
the metric system,
fat.
but he is 193 centimeters tall.
That's fat.
And 98 kilograms, and that's what, 2.2? So... What's 98 times 2.8? Well over 200.
Yeah. I mean, he put on a lot of weight for that role.
The second biggest was Adam West.
Really?
Really?
The third biggest...
I thought a Christian
No,
Bale
I'm sorry. The second biggest was the comic book iteration. They have them all broke down.
Yeah.
The third biggest was Adam West.
Wait, the comic book iteration? That doesn't make any sense.
It says comic book 1939 to present is the second biggest.
See,
that's stupid. Stupid.
If you look at the comic book, you go back and really look at it, Batman has to be a big guy. He's
pretty big in the
He's
comics.
a big man.
Adam West.
You haven't read all the comics then, because there are very slight Batmans.
Third biggest was Val Kilmer. Fourth biggest Christian Bale. Fifth biggest George Clooney, who's small apparently, and Michael Keaton is tiny.
Really?
Yeah, he's very small.
God,
and
Jerry.
the smallest Batman is
maybe that's why you're
Batman.
such in love with the small Batmans, because
No, there are Batmans that are skinny in the comic books.
Not a lot of them though.
Oh, and you said you got a lot of news. Go on.
Yeah.
Because
I have one other Batman news if we want to do it while we're on the subject.
Sure.
Yeah.
There is a new Batman comic coming out. Did you have this in your news?
I don't have it in my news, but I did know about it. I should have.
It is a direct, and it's a direct, what do you call it, sequel to Batman the Animated Series.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
It's actually going to be written by Paul Dini, who is the creator of Batman the
That
Animated
stuff,
Series.
that guy gets me.
And it's going to be
curiosity.
It's going to be called Batman: The Adventure Continues.
Yes. And
I hope so.
And they're going to continue the 90s style animation.
Yeah, and it's not a show though; it's a comic.
Well, the way
Yeah, but
DC's
still,
are, I hope, man, if it's done right, they could turn that easy. I mean, Paul Dini's a...
Yeah.
I'm going
It's
to buy
just-
all of
It's
this.
just a 6-issue miniseries.
Doesn't matter.
It'd be written by Paul Dini and Alan Burnett. Illustrating the series will be Ty Templeton, who drew many of the issues of the original Batman Adventures tie-in comic series. They had a tie-in comic series to the show.
Because the first 2 seasons of the animated series were phenomenal. The third season was when it really goes the dark gray suit and the black suit, and then
Now they don't have
But
Bruce
it's all
Timm.
very good.
oh, I love them.
Bruce Timm was the artist, but
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think you have to have
a big Batman.
Bruce Timm. No, yes, I
So
don't think you need to have a.
They will be
a
introducing
big Batman or Bruce
to
Timm.
the Batman animated series universe. They'll be introducing Jason Todd.
Just real quick,
Um,
dude's probably not coming back on the show.
You said that every single time.
we actually were gonna ban you
You were banned for a
what?
for
while.
last time.
What did I do last time?
You weren't close enough to the mic, and you
Poor-
caused serious
Poor mic discipline.
Oh, man.
editing issues.
It was awful.
Oh, I had to pee. Yeah, sorry.
No, like you didn't have any volume the
No,
entire time, and
you were 17 feet away from the microphone, and we could not get your volume up, and it ruined my life.
Well, I'm sorry, Jerry.
well, it actually
I'm not going to say that again tonight.
it
but-
would have been fine, but Jerry recorded over the audio, so we had to use the audio off of Switcher.
It was all because
Because Jerry's drinking Maker's Mark again.
yeah,
Correct.
Yes.
So,
So it's
really,
not my fault at all.
Well-
It's Jerry's
Well, no,
fault.
the
the
beginning
bad
of it,
microphone discipline was your fault.
the beginning was your.
I'll
fault.
just talk like this, and that way.
That's too much.
Now you ruined this episode.
Anyway, more news, Jerry?
Yes. So this has nothing to do with comic books whatsoever, but you had went and saw Hamilton, didn't you,
Yeah, I did see
Chris?
Hamilton.
Yeah. So the original Hamilton run has been filmed.
And I'm not giving away my shot, Jerry.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither. I haven't seen it.
But
So good.
the original Hamilton cast and the original Hamilton run has been filmed and is going to theater in 2021. They're going to make a theatrical movie out of the Broadway play.
So I did. It was very difficult to get tickets, but we did go see it. I will say one thing about Hamilton. It was really, really good. But it's,
I mean, everybody.
and it's
says
long. I think it was like 3 hours or more. And there's a couple intermissions.
Okay.
But it's exhausting.
Oh,
because
really?
you have to sit and pay, because they're wrapping everything.
Oh,
So you have to
hear
pay
it.
attention to catch everything that's going on. So you're literally like
Well, it's a
Focused.
laser focused for like 3 hours. So you get to an intermission and you're just like, oh.
So it's supposed to be Hamilton is based upon Alexander Hamilton. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
wanted to people. So some of your listeners may not know what that play actually is about.
I don't know any. I mean, everybody should know that, right? It's like the most famous.
I mean, you talk about the Book of
thought
Mormon.
So,
I mean, I do, but not. I mean, my wife wouldn't.
do you?
No, it's about Alexander Hamilton. It's written and starred in. Although I saw it in Chicago, so I didn't see Lin-Manuel. But written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And it's kind of like a hip-hop history of Alexander Hamilton. And first of all, he's just like a super interesting character in general.
Right.
But it's about like him and Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr and that whole period of the revolutionary, founding fathers type stuff. And it's really, really good. And the music is incredible. It's just really, really good show. It's one that you could buy the soundtrack for and just listen to it like as music because it's that good.
As good as The Witcher.
Yeah, it's really good.
Could you toss a coin to your Hamilton?
It's almost as good as the Moana soundtrack, which was
love
also
Moana.
written by Lin-Manuel
It
Miranda.
is so
Weird.
good. So anyway, that was my news for that, is that it's going to have a theatrical release in 2021. So I don't know what that's
There's
going
been
to be
a couple
like.
stage shows that I've watched as movies, and they're not always great.
Right. I don't think it didn't strike me as going to be very good. I don't know. I have no idea. That's just my prediction right off the bat. I don't think it's going to be anything groundbreaking.
If you're looking for a popular, like long-running play or musical to go see,
Sure.
I don't think Hamilton would be my first recommendation, my first recommendation would be the Book of Mormon.
The
which
Book
is
of Mormon.
You gotta see the
incredible.
Book of Mormon.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But Hamilton is up there. It's really good. It's probably the second best one I've ever seen.
Right behind the
But
Book
of Mormon is really good.
I mean, they won several Tonys for the Book of
Oh,
Mormon.
my
yeah, for
gosh,
sure.
so many.
Like we
So
went to
many-
see Newsies last year. No,
Yeah.
No?
no good.
Huh.
No boy.
So I really enjoy, but I really enjoy going to see shows like that.
Remember that?
Yeah, and they just released the musical as a movie. The Newsies. Disney
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember
It's
that.
not good. I didn't like it at all.
Well, this was a big press release for Hamilton, like a big deal.
Well,
that
a
it
lot
was
of people
going
haven't been able to
theaters,
get
so-
tickets for years and years and years. So
And-
when we got
well,
tickets, it was just what came to Chicago. I got them like the day they came out, but people were flying from New York
Right.
to Chicago
Really?
to see it because they could not get tickets on Broadway.
Well, the
to
big
see it.
deal,
Shit.
the big deal with this news article is that it's going to release the original cast. And
Right,
a
which I
lot of
didn't see.
people,
Oh.
yeah, so many people didn't see Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hamilton.
And I also
You know,
didn't see the Book of Mormon with Josh Gad or
Right.
any of the original cast.
Josh
either.
Gad was in that?
Yeah, I think he was
Yeah.
the
In
main.
the original?
He was.
No shit.
So anyway, the next little news I have is Keanu Reeves is going to do a Matrix 4, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they started filming it.
Already.
Oh, great.
They did, and they've released a few images.
But it's not
of-
produced by the Wachowskis.
No.
It,
he's-
it is
Oh, it is.
Oh, when did that change?
the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah, but not both of them.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
really? I thought
Both
they
of-
had nothing to do with the new one.
Yeah, I thought they got they
No, both of them are involved with this, but they're sisters now.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Right. So when their name comes out, it's different.
Yeah, we know that, Jerry.
Okay. Are
We're
you sure?
advanced people.
Okay. Well, you're not because they are both involved with it.
So I thought he's supposed to be a villain type person.
I don't know. I don't know what the premise of the movie is, but I know that they started principal photography and they released a few images of it.
Okay, yeah, I was right. It's only one of them, Lana Wachowski, not
thought
the other
both
one.
of them.
No, just one of them.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's the writer director of this one.
Okay. Well, it's still a woman and a Wachowski.
Yeah.
And they started filming it and they released some footage of Keanu Reeves on the street and it looks nothing like Neo. It's a man with a beard, long hair, and like a beanie hat on. It's Keanu Reeves, like just looking up at the sun.
Being
That's
Keanu.
basically all that
Like
has been released.
John Wick Jesus.
So yes, it really is. That's all it is. You have no idea what the movie's about. So many people have speculated like what he's doing. It doesn't really matter at this point. All that matters is they're making a Matrix 4. Hopefully it's better than the third one. And I just love everything Keanu Reeves does, to be honest.
Did you ever
Really
hear the
do.
story?
I've just fallen in the trap of falling in love with another man besides you with a beard, dude.
So you ever heard the story about Keanu Reeves and how they were flying back? Was it from Vegas or was it from Houston? So their plane got diverted to Pasadena, and so he lives in L.A.
Freaking Pasadena.
So they land in Pasadena, and so as he's getting off the plane, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna charter a bus, and anybody who wants to ride with me can ride on my bus." So he paid for all these people to ride on this bus with him back to L.A.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's another story about Keanu Reeves is that, shoot, I cannot remember the lady's name, but she won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in the movie The Help.
What's going on here?
I don't remember her name.
Oh,
Shoot. What's her name? There's a lady that won Best Supporting Actress for The Help. It's a black woman. She had just gotten into.
Why are you bringing race into it, Jerry?
No, it matters because when she started talking
that
about
kind
it.
of guy.
No, because she started talking about it when she first came to
Oh, she.
L.A. She
the
had
one-
no money, nothing. Her car broke down. She was trying to go to to audition for a film, which ended
Hamilton.
up being The Help, and her car broke down. She was stuck on the freeway. A motorcycle pulls up. A guy comes off, helps her get her car back started. She gets to the audition, and gets into the help, gets her, into the movie, and she wins an Oscar for it. And it was Keanu Reeves who got off a bike and helped her get her car back
And
started
she got
to go back there.
helped.
Yes, that's the thing.
It was the lady that made the
that's
chocolate
a big
pies.
thing. And I don't remember. Yeah. Yes, it's the lady that makes
I remember
the chocolate
seeing that,
pies, and I don't remember what her name is. I'm going to look her up, but that's an amazing story.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
a good
Viola
dude.
Davis?
Yes.
He
Is
has
that
his
it?
own motorcycle
No,
company, too.
it's not.
Octavia Spencer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Octavia Spencer.
He has his own motorcycle company, and they make custom motorcycles.
And they're amazing.
Yeah.
And they cost you $174,000 per bike.
Speaking of vehicles, my dad
You
purchased
buy a motorcycle?
he purchased a Rivian electric truck.
What's
Have you
that?
seen the
I've never
Rivian?
even heard of this.
Yeah.
They're like the other Tesla, but they're like making
Why?
The cheap Tesla.
no, they're like partly owned by Ford.
Oh, really?
So they're going to be making the Ford F-150, the electric Ford F-150 in a couple years when they start doing it. But they're just called Rivian. Amazon just bought 1 million of them from Rivia for vans for
Yeah, but
delivery
why-
vehicles.
Oh, really?
Here's the thing. Why did your dad buy one?
Because he
What's
wants
the,
one.
What's
He thinks
the
it's cool.
purpose?
I love your dad.
It's just like
Your
it's
dad's
an electric pickup truck. I'm getting it.
Your
Looks
dad's
cool.
I love your dad. I'm gonna start making wine. Christopher will buy a wine pod that does it all.
gonna grow
Well, he
grapes.
didn't purchase anything. Technically, they're not out yet. So you have to put
Oh.
down a $1,000 deposit, which is refundable at any time.
I would do that.
And like even when they do come out, if you don't end up wanting it, they give you your $1,000 back. So you literally are basically.
So they haven't even been made?
They're supposed to be out later this year. Look them up. They're really sweet. They're not like the Tesla Cybertruck.
I just
which
bought a
looks
Colorado.
dumb.
Sounds like a
So,
Cybertruck
I'm
and looks really stupid.
Is it gonna transform?
Yeah, sounds really dumb, Chris.
Look up the Rivian truck.
He bought a Decepticon.
He did.
That's what he bought.
They kind of look
He
like
bought an upgraded Prius.
They kind of look like a
Flatbed Prius.
what's the small Ford truck?
Ranger.
They kind of look like
Everybody
a Ford
knows.
Ranger.
Looks like a... Oh, I guess
man,
that's not bad.
That
It looks like a
Dark Side
miniature
Ford.
Raptor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad looking at all. But they're going to make the skateboard. That's what they call like the powertrain
That sounds terrible.
for. It's like the powertrain, the
Yeah, I
battery
know,
and
but
the wheels and stuff.
does anybody want a powertrain called a skateboard?
That's just what they call it.
Because I'm not going to use my
Skaters
foot.
bought one like this.
I'm not going to use my foot to power this vehicle, Chris.
Anyway, they're going to make
You're gonna
the
use your mind, Jerry.
yeah.
Well, I'm not going to use my foot.
With mind bullets.
That's telekinesis, Kyle. That is also part of our Snarfioki.
Here, type that in.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to fix his phone because he didn't plug it in.
You've ruined our video. Our video's ruined. If you're on YouTube, it's been ruined.
It's not ruined. It's just dude's not in it.
Anyway, next
That's under entertainment.
part of news.
Yeah, what else you got?
So, this is a big deal. Birds of Prey. The
Okay.
movie Birds of Prey has come out. So it was originally Birds of Prey, the emancipation of the one Harley Quinn. Right?
The fantabulous emancipation.
Right, you're right. Well, they've recently changed the name of this movie to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
Only in some theaters. Not across the board.
I thought it was across the
I
board.
thought it was just Birds of Prey. I thought they changed it
They
back
changed
to just,
it to Birds of Prey in some theaters.
Okay. Well, either way,
you get it
early
wrong?
reviews of this thing have been very good.
Yeah, they have.
Really?
And not only critic
Overwhelmingly
reviews,
good.
but also
It currently has an 82% Rotten Tomato score, not critic review, people review.
and the critic review is 85%.
Exactly. The reviews of this movie have been through the roof.
Really?
And it is blowing me away because I have been so adamantly against
Well,
it.
it looks terrible.
I thought they were just gonna bomb it.
But I've read some of the reviews, and I want to go see it.
I do too.
Well,
I want to go see this movie.
They said
The
it's kind of like Deadpool, but just not quite as good.
Apparently,
but still pretty
the
good.
action
Let's see it
movie.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
The action parts of this movie have been out of this world. Apparently, they're very well filmed. It's put together very well. Like the acting is very good. apparently it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and
surprising.
Gotta hate
it has
DC.
literally blown me away that this thing could have like made a name for itself, because I really, really thought it was going to be incredibly forgettable and something that put another stain on DC's.
Well, I mean, the
movie
domestic
network.
gross to this point is only 40 million.
So here's the thing. That's what I was going to get to. The gross of the movie has been terrible.
Well,
and that's
worldwide,
why
it's
they
at-
changed the name of the movie, because they thought the name of the movie was stopping people from coming to see it. So opening weekend in the US, all it got was 33.2 million.
Yeah,
And they were
but on a budget of 84 million.
it's a
Ooh,
rated
buddy.
R,
That's not. I mean, that's not a
It's
big
rated
budget,
R?
though.
it's
It's rated R.
a rated R movie.
Nudity?
And they were thinking about a rated R movie. They were hoping for 50 million.
Okay,
And they got 33.2.
it's not bad. Honestly, 33 for that for opening weekend. I don't think that's bad.
They weren't happy
Worldwide, they've made 95 million. The budget was 84. So that
The budget
really,
for the movie, but
I know.
that doesn't
Double
take
it.
into
160
consideration,
million,
like,
probably with marketing budget.
Yeah.
marketing. Yeah.
So are they going to get there? Probably.
They will.
they'll get there.
Yeah, they will. Because
Well, they
we're
wanted to keep
3
Marco
people right
Robbie.
here.
I mean,
One thing you need to remember, though, is international box office, they generally don't get almost any of that money. When you start to get in international markets, you don't collect a lot of that revenue.
Really?
The other thing you got to remember, too,
didn't know
about
that.
box office is that a lot of times the theater is getting half that.
yes, that I knew.
Individual theaters. So 40 million is really 20.
Well,
Okay.
so is that, say they made 40 million? Is that 40 million that they take, or did it really make 80? And they're only
No.
collecting
No.
I think it made
no.
40, and they might
I don't
be
know, that's what I'm asking.
net
And they're-
grossing 20.
20. Yeah.
That's why they always say movies are never profitable.
They are, though.
They are, of course, but the studios find ways to make it so
Sure.
that they don't have to pay out.
Well,
to
even
the
So
on-
this
actors.
is another big thing about why streaming companies don't release actual numbers, because like Netflix is so shady about the numbers they release.
They're losing money.
and it's because
not if you have
No.
own stock in them.
no, what I think
'Cause
is
they're up
happening
like 25% on
is
the
that
rate.
they
Yeah.
don't want to release the numbers that they're making, because they are overshadowing what theatrical release movies are doing so much that it's,
Why would they care?
well, they don't, but the populace does.
Yeah.
Like, people do, and
Why
nobody
wouldn't
can,
Netflix want to release that then?
they don't.
To
They
show
don't
how they're
release
blowing
it
it out of the water.
because people don't consider their movies as theatrical releases. So
they should.
it's not advantageous to them to say, we're making this amount of money when you're not going to consider us for any of the awards.
Yeah, but so most of the time to be considered for awards, all you have to do is release in like one theater.
So they've been trying to
Because
do
they
that.
released The Irishman, right, in a theater.
Yes, they've
Yeah.
been trying to do that, but a lot of theaters won't let them do that. So they've had to buy their own theater
Right.
and then release it in the theater.
Yeah, which, I mean,
Which
what does
is-
it cost to
I
run out
still
of
think
theater?
that's
which is the
ridiculous,
stupid
but-
Hollywood Academy Awards bullshit. Where,
Right,
you
right.
know.
So anyway, that was Birds of Prey. I want to get into a couple directors that you and I, Chris and I, and probably you, dude, enjoy. One of them being one of my favorites, and that is Wes Anderson.
Oh, I love Wes.
You know a little
The
bit
Life
about
Aquatic with Steve Zissou is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It is.
Oh,
And so is
he's got
Rushmore.
a new one coming out. The
And one of mine is Royal Tenenbaums. Royal Tenenbaums is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yep, it's great.
It is such a great movie.
it is a good movie. I like the Life Aquatic. That's
Life Aquatic's
yeah,
my
it's
favorite.
so
well,
good.
anything Bill Murray's in is amazing.
Which is
so-
all Wes Anderson movies, basically.
yeah.
What
What was the hotel one? Sorry, he had a hotel.
Budapest
The
Hotel?
Darjeeling Limited? No, that's,
No, the Hotel Budapest.
Hotel
No,
Budapest,
it's-
right?
It's a Hotel Budapest.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Anyway, he's got a new movie coming out. They just released the trailer like yesterday or the day before, and it is called The French Dispatch, coming out at the end of this year. It looks very good. It's a kind of a police movie.
I just definitely did. I kind of dropped off with his last movie, The Dog Island of Dogs.
I never watched. I didn't watch the.
I watched the first half hour, I went.
I didn't watch the dog one because it's kind of like the what's the fox one?
Fantastic.
That's
Fox.
a great movie.
That's an awesome movie.
It is similar to that.
You effing with me?
I never watched it, but
Are you effing with me?
no, it's a very good movie.
No.
This one looks a lot more like the hotel movie, a lot more like Moonrise Kingdom, and I can't remember. Yeah, the Grand Hotel Budapest. Or
It's
I'm
the
not a
Grand.
huge fan of Moonrise Kingdom, to be honest.
I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was good. Either way, we are fans of Wes Anderson, and he has another movie coming out, and I guarantee you I will watch it. And it was very intriguing to me. If you want to see it, check out the French Dispatch trailer, because I thought it was pretty intriguing. It looked much better than the rest of the movies he's made, much better than the whole dog thing. That he
Island
did.
of Dogs. Dog Island.
That didn't look very good.
It did. It was horrible.
Here's the one that really caught my attention, and I think it caught yours as well, Chris. You are a fan of Sam Raimi.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And Sam Raimi.
If you listen to our Darkman review, it's almost ridiculous how big of a fan of Sam Raimi I am.
Apparently, Sam Raimi may be in talks to direct the new Doctor Strange movie.
Muy bueno.
Really?
Muy bueno.
I'm very happy about that.
Well, I thought they
especially with the idea that they're going kind of towards this horror aspect for
Yes.
it. And he's a horror director,
Of course.
obviously. I mean, he did Spider-Man, which is not horror, but
No, but he has
done a lot of horror.
Army of Darkness.
Yeah, and he also did is it Drag Me from Hell or
Drag me to hell.
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to
from
Hell. Drag me to hell.
Yes.
that
Sort of-
one?
Yes.
That's a really good movie, even though I don't like horror, and it's not really super horror, but
No, and this is going to be a more horror-ish movie, but
Horror.
I don't see
I
Marvel.
wouldn't call it horror, but it's definitely probably going to have a darker
a
take to it.
horror-ish tone.
Which it
a
should.
tone.
I mean, because Doctor Strange in the comic books is very dark.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
going to have a dark tone, and they've said that. They've said that this is going to be a horror-type movie for Marvel. It's not necessarily going to be like a
Saw.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Saw or whatever. It's still Doctor Strange.
I want to see Moon King.
It will be Moon Knight.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you, Moon Knight.
I know. Me too. I'm so excited for it. Yeah, that was actually not an argument, but I was arguing earlier about our Snarf Madness bracket, which is coming out like tomorrow, very soon. Right, Chris?
Yeah, we'll talk about that shortly.
Yeah. So, but there was a couple people.
Should have talked about that at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, but Moon Knight was battling a guy. I didn't want him to battle that guy because I felt like both of those people should have been in the second round. Moon Knight was one of those people.
I fixed it.
Supposed to get
Good. It was fixed. Anyway, Sam Raimi may be directing the new Doctor Strange movie. You know,
It's awesome.
Doctor Strange, what's it called?
The multiverse of madness.
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. So that sounds very, very intriguing, and I
like how
on board for it.
they're bringing the multiverse into Marvel because they started it in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
I wonder if it'll be the period of time after this he disappeared until he reappeared.
Right.
Because he went. Remember, he looked through 1,000
Yes.
or million potential futures
Of Dormammu.
through. No, I'm talking about
for
with Thanos.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he had to experience millions of different
But
multiverses. I would assume
that would be pretty cool.
But again, with Dormammu in the actual comics, it was like hundreds of thousands of years. In the movie, he talks about being.
But that was he was in one universe because he just kept rewinding time.
Yeah.
No, but what would happen in that?
But see, I would think in the Thanos situation, he was looking at all the possible futures. The only way you're able to do that is by going through the multiverse to different dimensions
To live
where
it.
each decision or each moment has created a new path forward.
That's
Yes.
pretty cool. That would be huge.
I have no idea if that's what it's about.
I don't either, but I am so
And
in the bag for everything.
I'll
that
guarantee I'll be
Doctor
seeing
Strange
that movie
does.
in 3D like we did.
Oh yeah,
You have to. You'll have to. You'll have to go see it in 3D. And you have to see it in theaters because I really feel like that's where you're going to get like the most out of that movie.
Because if you haven't
Seeing
seen
it at
Doctor
home,
if you haven't seen Doctor Strange
Not the
in
same.
3D in a theater, it is totally, you're robbing the experience because it is a straight mind fuck.
yes, no, it absolutely is. You're right. So recently, new news topic. Recently, the Oscars happened.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Does anybody care?
We do. We're a pop culture podcast.
I tried
Hey,
to.
who hosted the Oscars?
Nobody.
Yeah, because they suck.
I was not able to watch most of it because I was on vacation. I did watch a little bit when we
I
got
agree.
home that night. I watched a little bit.
Yeah, I watched the important parts. So the beginnings I didn't really watch and whatnot, but all I wanted to cover was a few things. So I was going to tell you. So best, where do we start? Let's say original score. Best
Yes.
original score went to The Joker. That was done by a female.
So
It was
Why does that
good.
matter?
It was good. Oh, it was like the first female to win best
Ever.
original score ever.
I don't really remember it being that incredible of a score personally,
No,
but
this is what I was going to bring up. It's nothing that stands out to me. John Williams lost for best original score, which is rare. So Star Wars almost always wins best original score. I think it's like a handout most of the time. He does do very good work. He has won multiple Oscars. He doesn't need to win another. But me personally, I think he does better work. I think
I would agree with you.
I think Star Wars was better than what Joker's original score was. Joker's original score was very bland. There wasn't much to it.
he only has 5 Academy Awards.
Oh,
John Williams.
Out of 9 movies.
that's 5 more than I have.
Come on. He's done he's done tons of movies. He did E.T. He did Indiana Jones.
Oh, really?
He did Schindler's List. He did Jaws. He did
And I bet you every single one of those.
Lincoln. He did Memoirs of a Geisha, Munich, Harry Potter. He did all the Harry
Memoirs of a
Potter,
Geisha?
War Horse. He did Catch Me If You Can,
So every one of those
Saving
Academy
Private
Awards,
Ryan, Amistad, Nixon, Sleepers, Patriot, Artificial Intelligence. He did JFK,
You can
are
stop
every
now,
one
Chris.
of those
Home Alone.
You can stop.
from
It's okay. We got
Star Wars?
These are all ones that he's just won from.
No, I'm
he
saying-
did Superman.
You said one from.
I don't know what he's won from. I'm just telling you that.
No, you just said all of these are what he.
it. So pretty much, if
Not
he does a
Grammy. I'm talking about Grammys. I'm talking about.
No, I'm
all
saying
awards.
Oscars. Like
I know.
what-
I don't know what he's won.
I think
Oscars
he's
for.
only won from Star Wars for Oscars.
Well, I will find out right now.
Either way, I don't think the Joker score was better than.
Yeah, I don't remember it being insanely
I understand. I understand that Star Wars scores are the same. They are the same big band type, like.
Well, Ray's music
like we
is not.
understand. But I
'Cause,
think it's
well-
still put together better than a lot of the movies that are coming out. Like it's a better score. It's a better production than a lot of movies you're going to hear when it comes to like orchestral productions. I don't think
He holds the record for most Oscar nominations for a living person.
How many?
52.
Wow.
that's a lot.
So that's a movie a year.
That's a lot. He's also like 147 years old.
Second most nominated
So-
person in Academy Awards history behind Walt Disney with 59. 46 of his Oscar nominations are for Best Original Score. 5 are for Best Original One. He won 4
Okay.
Oscars for Best Original Score and 1 for Best Scoring for Fiddler on the Roof.
That's a great movie.
So that was original
Better play,
score. It went to Joker. I thought that was kind of weird
Yeah.
that they won. Next one was let's do best male performance, like best male
In which
actor.
I've said this before, but I'm still confused why they have to separate the male and female actors.
They always have, but that's been a big discussion. Is
But why?
like saying like
An actor's an
calling it-
actor.
well, there's been a big push behind that, and saying like actor instead of actor and actress. And
First
they're
of all, I
saying-
think that's dumb because
you
they're
just said
words.
it. You just said it.
No,
You
I,
just said like you think it's dumb that someone would be nominated for best actor
yeah.
And best actress?
I'm just saying, I think you can refer to females or males as actor.
You can, but they would have to be in the same category then.
They should be in the same category. That's what I'm saying.
Then why did you say that was dumb when I said the best actor?
I'll disagree with you on this. I think it has anything to do with sex.
No, I think the performance is different.
It's a performance. I mean, as an individual, you can't have. So you're going to take 12 positions down for all of one award. Where, in my opinion, there should be more awards for some of these people that are their performance, their portrayals of characters.
Then double the amount of nominees and give 2 awards.
No.
So
I think they're two separate. I really
Why
do
are they
think
separate? Why?
Because
why do females and males have to be in a separate category when you're talking about an acting performance? Why? It makes no sense.
No, it does make sense because you cannot act like a female can. You cannot.
Tell Robin Williams that for Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, I will.
God damn it, he did it again. He proved
I will
you wrong
because it's
again.
completely wrong. You cannot act like any female, like any best female that has ever been in a performance.
No,
you could not be that role.
Jerry's
Dustin
right.
Hoffman, Tootsie.
No, stop it. Like you can't. You could not be that.
Didn't he win an Oscar for that?
Yeah,
if you could be the Queen of England and do the exact same performance, and
I think
be
you're going
exactly
down a
the
very
same.
slippery slope there, Chris.
I don't understand why they. If
No,
you're talking
just-
about their performance, what does
Yes.
it matter whether they're male or female?
Because there
The
are
best performance is the best performance.
No,
So
I
you
don't
can
agree
never
with you.
judge a woman
I don't
against
agree
a
with you.
man.
Yes, you can.
So then why aren't they in the same category?
All right, now I got you.
I just don't agree.
God,
No, we're
I'm
not.
so torn.
No, you're not judging a
don't
male
care.
performance against a female
don't-
performance. You're judging a male performance as a male and a female performance as a female.
But you never get
You
a handle
cannot
on-
be a male and be accepted as the best female because you cannot perform better than a female as a female. No way. You can't.
So what? We're talking about the best performance.
I know. And you cannot perform better
Jerry,
than
I
a
agree with
female
you.
in that
Jerry, I agreed with you, and now I'm going to lean towards Chris's side because
Why?
it's about the performance, not.
I'm just saying it's
No.
about judging.
No,
a
there's two
performance
different
against
categories.
A performance.
the best performance as an actor and a best performance as an actress. It's not the best performance as one role. Like there are two different categories here.
But you can never then judge an actor and an actress against each other to see who actually had the best performance of the year.
Maybe
you can make a separate category.
Maybe
then,
that's what they should
and
do.
you
Maybe
could put
they
it
should
as you could-
Combine a separate combined category.
yes,
Yeah.
a separate combined category that says
So
best.
we're gonna do it like a March Madness bracket.
best performance.
No, you would say best performance.
That's
Best
what I think they
performance
should do:
by-
is best performance by an actor.
But
And
I
everybody
still
should
think
in
there
that
should be.
category.
But I still think there should be best actor and best actress. I don't
So
think
does
you should get
anybody
rid of
even
those.
care about the Academy Awards anymore? Really?
Yes.
I do.
Who?
I do.
Do you?
I do. I think.
I mean,
a lot of it is.
I really
political.
honestly do.
Like the majority of it is political, but I still think there are good choices.
I mean,
And I
I
think-
found a lot of movies throughout my life from the Oscars that I never would have really heard about before.
yes.
That were really good.
I mean,
And I really want to watch that Parasite movie now.
Well, that's what we're gonna get into, but
Oh.
I don't think like best actor or best actress depicts what we are going to watch. It's not going to.
No.
Well,
But
if you
best
haven't seen
picture-
Joker, you probably should just for his performance.
So anyway, well, what was I at?
I mean, Brad Pitt won
All
for
I-
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
No,
And all he
no,
did was just
didn't.
in Hollywood.
He did not win for Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That was Johnny Depp.
No.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hollywood.
And he was just being himself.
He was.
Honestly, like there is no reason why he should have won that Oscar.
I agree.
I think he
That's
even
ridiculous.
I think he even kind of said that in his
So
speeches.
original score went to Joker. Best. Let's do best female performance. Best actress, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That went to Renee Zellweger in Judy.
I haven't seen it.
No.
It was on the plane going down to Florida, and I just looking at her like transformed into that character. It looked pretty intense.
She looked
so
great. Yeah.
She really did look
I haven't
well.
seen it.
Good.
And then best male performance went to Joaquin Phoenix.
Which it should have.
My man.
Yeah, which we all
And
said
the Joker.
was going to
We
happen.
knew that was going to happen.
Toy Story 4 won Best Animated Feature.
They did.
Which,
Toy Story 4.
Surprise.
Yeah, kind of. What was another one that I was looking at earlier? There was another animated film that I thought may beat that out. And then best film was Parasite.
Yeah.
And then
That's-
best director.
That's the Japanese one, correct?
Korean.
South Korean.
Korean.
South Korean.
So best director
ooh.
was Bong Joon-ho. Bong Joon-ho. He directed Parasite. I don't know
I don't know anything about
this
it,
movie,
but I want to see it. Free Solo won documentary, by the way. That's a great movie.
which absolutely it should. But I don't know anything
Taika
about this.
Waititi won for Jojo Rabbit, which I also really want to see.
I wanna see that
I
too.
haven't
I
seen that
mean-
either. That was best adapted
I mean, Hitler.
screenplay.
Yeah.
And just having the whole premise is about a little boy that has Hitler as his imaginary friend. It's kind of
And he played Hitler.
Yeah.
So I really need to see that.
Right.
Yeah. It was something that I should have seen before this, but a lot of things happened at the Oscars. I do think they're still viable. I know it's weird that we look at the big picture of movies.
Well,
and
Natalie
put
Portman
it-
wore a dress with all the female directors' names on it that she felt got snubbed.
right. It's very
Who
political.
cares?
Yeah,
It's
it was
very
bullshit.
political.
The
It's
worst
very-
was Joaquin Phoenix's speech, which was so dumb.
So that's the next thing I wanted to get into, is that the speeches and the political stances of people that go to the Oscars and accept awards.
I've never really heard it be that big of a thing, but this year it was bad.
It's because of the climate we're in, the political climate we're in.
It's because of Ricky Gervais and the Golden
No.
That's
Globe.
because they hate Trump.
I don't
That's the only
agree with
reason.
you. I think it's because they hate Trump. They do.
They do.
It-
For whatever reason.
But to be fair, like they don't. It doesn't matter if it was Trump or any Republican person. I think it would be the same way. I think
Well, this
the
isn't.
climate we're in is that it's so. They are so against anyone that isn't for their specific cause that it's the end of the world.
It was the same way when it was Bush.
This isn't the first time this has
and
happened.
Bush looks like a moderate Democrat now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Well, this isn't the first time this political crap is happening at the Oscars. And so Marlon Brando.
no, it happens
refused-
every year.
Well, Marlon Brando refused to accept his Oscar back in when was the first Godfather?
70s.
70s, and he sent a Native American up there to accept it for him, and there's a big
And that's
hoopla
fine,
about
but-
it. It's been going on for years. That's just a Hollywood culture. They get on their soapbox, and Ricky Gervais said it best: "Get your award, thank your God, thank your producer, and then fuck off."
100%. Like, why are you going to come up there and take a stance against something you have no idea about?
Yeah.
You've never went to a facility. Like, if you're going to take a stance against milk production or dairy, the dairy industry at all, like Joaquin Phoenix did, like, he doesn't
At
understand
least he's
that.
a vegan.
Oh, yes. At least he is.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna get up there and do something, at least like he is a hardcore vegan. Like, that's his deal. So if he gets
Great.
up there and like makes a speech about it, I'm just saying at least he's not being hypocritical.
Well, he is in a way.
No, I mean he's practicing what he's preaching.
He's practicing not eating meat.
So yeah, no, anything coming from animals, there's a difference between.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's
vegetarianism
not
and
being
veganism.
hypocritical. So
He is 100% being
So,
hypocritical because he
I
says
watched the first 30
that
seconds.
everybody should not fly in a private jet. Everybody should not have their own private like entourage. Everybody should wear their like one suit. He's been on record saying, "I only own one tuxedo, so I wear that
so
at
not
one."
being hypocritical.
So he's a
no,
socialist.
no, he is because he has absolutely more than one tuxedo, and it's been proven.
Maybe he rents them.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. If you're saying you should only wear one tuxedo, you should only wear
Saying
that
you
one
can only
tuxedo.
Own
But-
one tuxedo.
No, that does not.
But renting is like a very
what's wrong with
green
that?
thing.
So you could rent like 47,000 tuxedos that are produced under who cares what conditions, and that's okay.
The point is, renting is more green than owning.
Yeah.
But you're still
Because
creating
other people,
those.
a group of people are using
So
the
I
same.
not
didn't.
the same.
So what else did he say? What did he say in his speech about dairy? Because
He said you shouldn't have milk in your cereal. You shouldn't.
No, he made a whole thing. He said like we artificially inseminate cows and we
you're
act like
stealing
we're,
the calves from their
We
mothers.
steal their calves away from their mothers and their mothers. We can hear their cries and then we take their milk, which was meant for their calves, and we consume it.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy.
I see. I watched the first 30 seconds when this guy's fucking nuts.
He's
And,
nuts.
No, so let's.
So I
Let's
grew up
break
on a
it down
dairy.
a
Most
little
people
bit,
don't.
though.
So I grew up on a dairy that most people don't know.
Right.
As soon as they're weaned, they cry anyways. As soon as that mother goes, "You're done,"
But
they
even
cry. It doesn't matter.
But even before they're weaned, a lot of mothers won't take care of their calves.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that people don't understand is that you can leave a calf with their mother and they can completely neglect them.
They will.
And you can watch a calf die
Yep.
out in a pasture and be trampled by every cow that goes by them.
They're also not natural animals. Like we made them.
Correct.
Right.
Like they wouldn't exist in nature.
But
Well,
that's getting to the larger
Yeah.
point. But the basic
you're
point
right.
is,
Chris, you're right.
like, if you try to watch these animals,
well,
if they decide that they cannot feed or
yeah.
they just don't want this
If
baby,
the mother
they will
cow-
neglect them and they will die starving out in the middle of a pasture on their own.
If the mother cow cannot survive, it will sacrifice its child for its own survival to,
Right.
to reproduce the next year. It's
So
a scientific
therefore-
fucking fact with every animal.
If you were to take that baby,
Not every
and then
animal, but
if you were
Yeah.
to take
not every animal.
that
Yeah.
specific animal,
Every
the-
animal.
that
it's an
calf,
instinct.
Humans.
can we talk about cows? Like, is that what we're talking
So
about?
if
Or
you
are we
want to
talking
go
about every
so
animal
so
in
if
the
you want to
world?
go down that rabbit hole, I don't want to, but
No, we're talking about cows. Jerry's
If
getting
you were
very
to,
angry.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
getting mad.
we're talking about cows, and we need to stay on topic because we're at an hour and a half. If you were to bottle feed that calf, it's going to survive and then produce something, right?
delicious steak.
Whatever.
Veal.
It can.
Ooh, veals are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the big issue here
A
is
veal
that
parmesan.
it just doesn't make sense to argue that.
Like a breaded veal cutlet.
That's why I didn't watch them. I watched the highlights on YouTube because it was stupid.
Hey.
You got more news?
A lot. We don't have time for it
Well,
because you
How
guys
do
keep
you
talking
have more
about dog
news?
shit. I've got so much.
you're the one that was talking about.
You've
cows.
been in a dream world for 2 weeks. I've been in the real world and have been collecting news.
He got you there, Chris.
During the what's it called? What's that game? Super Bowl. Did people watch that?
Nope.
Still?
Nope.
I actually did. I did watch the Super Bowl.
I watched.
It was the night before I left for vacation. I watched it, and it was a really good game. It was super
awesome.
exciting game.
I watched every
It was
down
great.
of it.
And
It was
Patrick
very good.
Mahomes, the day I went to Disney, he was there. We landed about an hour before they did the big parade with Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
down the main street of Disney.
Didn't watch the game.
But unfortunately,
So
we
good.
went to
It's the best.
It's the best Super Bowl I've
game
seen.
I've seen in years. By far.
maybe forever. And it was a really good game.
Yeah. Since 1985 when the Bears won the Super Bowl. Which was 2 years prior to me being born.
I'm about to say you weren't born in '85.
Anyway, so we landed an hour before, and there was a tons of Chiefs fans that were getting off the plane with us.
Oh, really?
That had flown from Kansas City to Chicago, and then they were flying from Chicago down there just to go to the parade. And they're like, "Are you going to the parade?" We're like, "No, we're going to Epcot."
We're like, no, we're not.
We're
I don't
going to
give
the
a
Flower and Garden
fuck about
show.
your team.
We're gonna go drink rose
No,
margaritas
it was
in Mexico.
the Festival of Arts.
Was it?
Yeah.
So
Well-
hey, I got a question.
The only thing I wanted to talk about with the Super Bowl. Go ahead.
Did you get a rose margarita?
I did not. Did not get a rose margarita.
Why not?
But we did go to Hacienda de San Angel
So is that the one inside the pyramid?
outside.
Okay.
The really good one.
Yeah. How was it?
It was really good.
Was it like being in Mexico?
No, it was more like modern Mexican, like
Right.
you know, like
You know what, Jerry? If you went to Disney World, you would know what we're talking
anyway.
about.
Go ahead, Jerry. We still have to talk about Galaxy's Edge. We haven't even talked about that.
And Joker.
And Joker.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
We're gonna have to do another episode.
So during the Super Bowl, there was a huge TV spot for Marvel, which included WandaVision,
Yep.
Loki,
Yep.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Drew a ton, like a shitload of attention.
Big time, yeah.
Yep.
I posted on our
Yes,
did.
the
Facebook page
biggest
about
attention came to WandaVision
looks great.
because it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it shows like Wanda and Vision in multiple different scenarios.
And in her X-Men costume.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what I was getting to. It in her X-Men costume with the actual like
What would you call that? A crown?
a cowl or crown or whatever they call it.
Headband.
Yeah, it's like it's
mask.
It's a W, I guess. It looks like an M, W, whatever.
Thingy that goes on her head.
But it also shows her in the Brady Bunch house. It shows her pregnant, which they're in the comic book.
Nope.
She was pregnant. She had twins. Those twins end up like taking over a lot of things. There's a big story with those twins. The twins change a lot of things in the Marvel universe and in the X-Men universe. And it looks like she is pregnant with those twins in this trailer. So it blew the comic book world up. Like everybody was talking about that one still frame of her in the Brady Bunch like scene because you could see the stairs in the background and she was clearly pregnant. And then the very next scene was her staring at two different cribs.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's
yeah, it could be a
could be a vision.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody really knows what it means, but it blew the internet up
We also
because
saw
of this trailer.
a little bit of Captain America,
And the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
some Falcon throwing a shield.
So
Yes.
while we're on this, did you guys see the article about how they've come out and said that her children, what's her name? Peggy Carter's children in the Marvel universes are Steve Rogers' children.
No.
You guys did not see
I haven't
that?
heard that, but I do.
It is.
I mean, it's confirmed that she was married to him.
Yes,
And
that was confirmed.
That was
but
confirmed.
I didn't know that
their children are Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter's children.
Okay.
So which opens up a whole book, which a comic book doesn't even go into. That
No.
it's
No.
uncharted territory.
Well, I mean, it's
So,
been confirmed
Like, what
by
is
Marvel
the quality
that this
of
happened.
a
but-
super soldier's sperm?
I mean,
I mean,
guarantee
well,
you they
it didn't
can
blow out
puncture,
the back of her head, so it's got to be.
They
you know,
can
not that
puncture
powerful.
any uterus.
That's Superman.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious.
That's Superman.
Super soldier.
Superman. But anyway,
I don't know.
so anyway,
Do you think Kryptonians could breed with human beings?
I thought they did. I thought.
I mean, they did, but in reality, would that
thought
be a
Lou-
thing?
Here's the deal.
like
They
in the
did have a
real-
kid. They did. I'm
Yeah.
saying that they did, but really, would an alien species be able to breed with human beings?
I think that
Well,
they
if Star
could,
Trek teaches us anything.
No, I think
all
they
you
can
think is Eugene.
control themselves enough to where they could breed with another species.
They didn't even breed with themselves on
Yeah,
Krypton.
sure they did.
Nope, they did it all in test tubes.
It all depends if your junk is right.
They did it in test tubes, probably because it was more efficient.
It was illegal to have natural birth in Krypton. On Krypton.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Kal-El, Superman, was a natural birth.
That's from the movies.
No,
No, that's canon. But
that's canon. They didn't have natural birth. It was illegal.
Yeah.
He was a natural birth. He was like hidden away.
No, that's canon, and that's why they sent him away because it was the only natural birth from.
I don't know if that's the only reason. They sent him away because the planet was
gonna
going to
blow up.
No, I
Last
know,
time
but
I
that was
checked.
one of the reasons because it was the only natural birth from Krypton.
I don't know.
So what else you got, Jer?
Yeah. Next, you're right.
I don't feel like I get a good answer on that. Whether an alien species could breed with
I
a human
think-
being and
I think so. I think he's
Yes.
so in control of his own body that he could do that.
like there's very close species on this planet that can't crossbreed.
Like what?
Ooh, good point.
Give me a.
Chimpanzees.
Well, like one ape can't crossbreed with another ape.
Sure, they can.
No, they cannot. A gorilla and a chimpanzee cannot have a child.
Who says?
Science.
Then
You
that-
can't crossbreed with a gorilla.
I could.
No, you cannot.
He would try.
Give me a gorilla.
I'm just saying it won't work.
I don't know.
I don't think
I'll try it.
So your junk just ain't gonna.
No, it'll fit.
No, you'll get it in there.
Oh, no,
the
it'll
sperm will
fit.
not impregnate. They will not be a viable
I think it will.
zygote.
No, I.
Wow. We've done just
The best.
fell off that cliff.
Yeah, the best word ever.
The
said.
So
Mitosis will not.
so
No,
I
zygote is the
so
answer.
could Jerry crossbreed with a gorilla? What would
think I
that look like?
could.
What would that
They're
look
trying
like?
that in China. It's like a human rights violation.
think
They
I
have
could.
a problem with that.
They're trying to crossbreed.
They're
with
trying to
Jerry.
impregnate chimpanzees with human.
Do we name
Hey,
this
if
Jerry
anything that's
Crossbreeds
if anything
with a
watching
gorilla?
TV has
Can't
told
happen.
me is that from the
Nah.
Umbrella Academy, that's got bad. That's
Oh,
gonna end bad for
I like
somebody.
that show.
Yeah,
I like that show.
It's a great show.
I didn't.
You
I
didn't.
didn't care for it.
No, you didn't because you're obsessed with Disney.
He's a dick.
No, he's just like so obsessed with Disney. If it's not a mouse, it doesn't matter.
It's not Marvel. I don't like it.
Anyway, John Krasinski. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
So who is that?
Do you?
Yeah,
He's not a mouse, Chris.
I love Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. John Krasinski. He was on The Office, obviously, and the main character in Jack Ryan. He has been continuously lobbying to be Mr. Fantastic in the next Fantastic Four movie.
He should be.
He's been
He'd be great.
tweeting about it, sending emails
And his
about it.
wife should also be in it.
I agree. She should absolutely be the Stretch Armstrong character.
No.
That would be Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, and she's Invisible Girl.
She would be
Oh, that's right.
Sue Storm.
I'm thinking of the invisible. I'm thinking of.
Elastic Girl.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Now who's got
I'm
mouse
thinking
on the
of-
brain?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Incredibles. But either way,
Elastigirl.
I think he would.
So
be,
who would you cast if Emily Blunt and John Krasinski were Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic? Who
He's went as far as posting pictures of himself as Mr. Fantastic.
who
Like,
is the Human Torch in that scenario?
Ooh,
So Sue Storm's brother.
so you need somebody with red hair.
He should probably be British because she's British, right? Isn't she British?
Emily Blunt
she
is definitely British.
She's British, but
yeah.
It's got to be somebody younger than her. She's probably in her early 40s.
I'd say Tom Holland, but he's Spider-Man.
Tom Holland would be really.
I don't know if he's got the.
So who played?
He's too
he's
good,
got
like,
the
he's
too
gravitas.
goody-goody.
So who was in Ender's Game?
I don't know.
So who was that kid's name?
I can't think of it. You need somebody that's a smartass.
Yeah, you need somebody with some edge because that's
Yeah, you need some edge. Some edge.
Chris Evans
He's too old.
No,
Way too
yeah.
old.
because he's already played him.
Oh, yeah, he did play it. That's right. So did Michael B. Jordan. Right?
Yes, Michael B. Jordan did. In the Fan Sticks 4.
Fan Sticks 4.
Yeah,
Fantastic
and it
Four.
failed terribly.
Okay, so who would be Ben Grimm in your version?
Ooh. So it's an older guy, same age as John.
Yes, same as Krasinski.
I'm trying to think of a gritty movie or a gritty TV show that we could pull from.
Could you make Rainn Wilson?
He's good.
He is
Henry
good. but
I mean, he is
Cavill.
good.
Henry Cavill. Nah, I mean, he's too, no.
Yeah, but no,
If Henry Cavill
he'd be a good-
continues the Spider-Man or the
Witcher.
Spider-Man,
So
Superman, like verse, he cannot do anything.
Why not?
else.
He'd be perfect. So he's
No, he
he's a
can't
very
do
beautiful man, which Ben Grimm is supposed to be, and then all of a sudden he gets turned into a thing.
Is he?
Yeah, in the comic books.
My Michael Chiklis? He wasn't that good looking.
God, yeah, but that's pre Marvel Universe.
What do you mean?
So
He was
before
in the
the
movies.
Ender's
He's in
Game.
the-
Are you talking about Asa Butterfield?
Yeah, Butterfield.
Yeah, that guy.
Asa Butterfield. He was Ender Wiggin.
Yep.
Young kid. I don't know. You'll have to look him up. I've never seen him before.
Tom Holland. No, not Tom Holland. What was it?
Haley Steinfeld was.
I don't know.
She's.
So what else
something.
you got?
Abigail Breslin was Valentine Wiggin. This was all in Ender's Game.
Really?
Yeah, they look like people you would know, but I don't know them just by saying their name. But I don't know. I think Henry Cavill could be someone that you remember in those
But why?
movies.
He's
but
already Superman and the
exactly.
Witcher. Just-
Like you
There's millions of
cannot
other
pull
people.
him. You
I mean, he's going to be
cannot
the
pull
Witcher
him
forever.
over.
I mean,
You know who could be Human Torch? Taron Egerton.
He could.
what's he from?
He's in
He could be.
The Kingsman.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, he played Elton John in that new Elton John movie,
Yeah, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
So
I'm a Rocket Man.
that won an
Yeah,
Oscar
for best song, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That won for best song. I don't remember what the song was, but it won. And Elton John sang at the Oscars, which he did very well. I like Elton John.
This guy could totally.
So I got some news.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
I
get
got
some.
more.
Well, keep going.
Rick Moranis.
Is he still
Do you
alive?
remember Rick Moranis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he took
Obviously.
some time off to take care of his family.
He took
Strange
all
Brew,
the-
Honey, I Shrunk
You know,
the Kids.
wait, stop. You know who should be the Human Torch? Andrew Garfield.
I
he's
agree
too
with
old.
you. I
He's not
agree
too
with
old.
you.
He's pretty young.
No,
Yeah,
I
but he's too
agree
much of a
with you.
goody-goody.
He was
Are
in
you
that Spider-Man
kidding
film. He
me?
was pretty edgy.
No,
I mean, you need
in
somebody that
real
cusses-
life, he was a dickhead.
Yeah, he's. I mean,
He
you know,
did terrible things.
He did.
I don't know. I made that.
He's
up.
making.
Are you
what?
talking about?
I'm like,
I
wow,
made
it
that- I
sounded good. I mean,
This dude is apparently coming back in
What?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
oh man, I hope you're gonna say Strange Brew.
What is
No.
it called? Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
I have no idea.
There already is. a
No,
Honey,
I have
Shrunk
no
the
idea.
Kid. That was number 3,
The only
First
thing
one was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
and then the second one was Honey,
Honey,
I
I
Shrunk the.
Blew Up the Kids.
Ah, you're right.
Honey, I Shrunk Myself,
Maybe.
something like that.
Yeah.
He did Little Giants
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he did a lot of things, Jerry.
before he did Honey, I Shrunk Myself.
No,
I think that was the last one he did. 98.
You've researched this.
I'm telling you. I've
And he,
been reading about it.
he
The
left.
last movie
he left
he
to
did.
take care of his family. I think it's like a wife got cancer or something, and he went and took care of his kids.
Yes. So he's coming back, doing another Honey, I Shrunk My whatever.
Do you think he's in the new Ghostbusters movie?
He should be.
Of course he should be.
That preview was phenomenally awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would tie it together a lot better.
Yeah, I was waiting to see a Bill Murray or Danny Aykroyd.
Well,
in
it was a teaser.
Yeah, but
Right.
They're in it. They're definitely in it.
they're in the movie, but I was waiting for him to see him in the teaser. I mean,
He'll be
something-
there.
Speaking of
But anyway.
old movies being rebooted, did you see they're redoing The Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
The Disney Plus series.
Yep.
Did, but they're going to be like bad guys, aren't they?
And Emilio's in it too.
But they're going to be bad guys.
Charlie's brother.
Yeah.
Did you read about this?
Emilio!
They're going to be the bad guys.
Good. They should be. Quack.
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 Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack.
I'm not
Quack.
gonna
Quack.
clap.
Quack.
I'm gonna drink my beer.
Anyway,
All right, so we had to wrap up this episode. We got more news, and we got some reviews and all kinds of cool stuff we're going to do
coming next week.
next week. Jump right back in with us. We're going to keep on recording, but you're going to hear it next week. We
Listen
wanted to quickly talk about the most important thing in the history of the known universe,
Snarf Madness.
and that's called
Yep.
Snarf Madness.
That's called
2020.
Snarf Madness.
And this year,
Dude,
What?
that's called Snarf Madness.
Snarf Madness.
we are doing Snarf Madness once again, the 2020 bracket challenge. This year, so last year, if you remember, we did best science fiction fantasy movies of the last 10 years.
Ow.
This year, we're doing best comic book heroes of
Ever.
all time.
Ever.
Yes. is the top 64.
Did you hear how ridiculous I got?
Yeah.
That was epic, Jerry.
Yes.
That was very
That's
epic.
how serious we are about the bracket.
There's some important news though that you need to understand.
There is.
One, to win, there will be 2 winners of Snarf Madness, just like last year.
2.
The closest person to match Jerry's bracket and the closest person to match my bracket will each win.
So why are you
Right,
two always
but-
right?
Because it's our podcast, so
Okay,
we can
well,
make
that-
the rules. So your goal is to match our brackets.
Right. I'm going to make a bracket. Chris is going to make a bracket. You want to match those brackets.
Another important thing to understand is we are not doing who would beat who in a fight.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is who do we like the most.
Let's say you
Who's
have
the best?
You
Who's
could
the
have
coolest?
a Yoda versus Wolverine, right?
Oh man, that's a tough one, Jerry. Why,
Well,
why would you do that?
I'm
Why
just
would you
saying.
do that?
No, that's not going to be
We're
the
not
case.
doing that because we don't have Star Wars characters included in this.
Exactly. No, you don't. I'm just saying you could have characters that are that dynamic against each other that you don't know what to pick. But you have to think, what is Jerry going to pick? Or
Yoda.
what is
Like,
Chris?
who is Jerry's favorite character of these two? Not who would win in a fight.
No,
That's the main
it
thing.
doesn't matter about
So no
force or points
So no
or
fisticuffs,
whatever.
just straight up
Strength.
lovability.
No,
Who do we like the most?
it's who
So
we
pretty
like
much
the
what you're
most.
saying is you got to think like Chris and Jerry.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
win. If you
Yeah.
want to win it.
You do.
So,
and you know
so
what?
what does everybody win if
So
they match your brackets?
We talked about it last podcast.
Okay.
And the last podcast, we were talking about up to $200 worth of points.
Prizes. Yeah.
People could.
You're
win.
going to win stickers. You're going to win a T-shirt. You're going to win a bundle of Snarf. One
Yes.
bundle of Snarf.
Absolutely.
And you're going to win a gift card for what? Did
Upwards
$50. $50 gift
100,
card. Well, we got 2 winners though. You got to remember.
50 apiece.
50 a piece. So you're going to get a $50 gift card, a T-shirt, a sticker, and a bundle of Snarf.
Bundle O Snarf? Or
Yeah,
just
a
bundle
bundle.
of?
No,
A
but
bundle
a
O Snarf.
bundle O Snarf is a lot of money.
Yeah,
So
a bundle of Snarf is it's going to be a bunch of merchandise that we select and then we curate and we will send to you. So you get a
So all of the people that are on Patreon that subscribe to a bundle of Snarf get $30 like every other month, right?
yeah, it's 15 a month is what we usually spend.
Yeah. So what you win in this contest would be $30.
Plus the $50 gift card, plus a T-shirt, plus stickers.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
so it's like $100 value minimum.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah. But you also get bragging rights, and you also get to be a honorary Snarf Madness champion for the entire
This is
year.
argued.
I mean, honestly, you know what?
For a
We're
year,
also,
Chris?
we'll throw in a
Come
trophy.
on, come on, come on,
What about
come
a
on.
trophy?
We can find a trophy around
Do
do
we
a
have
trophy?
trophies
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna do a trophy.
We can do a trophy.
for a Snarf Madness?
Yeah, that you
winner?
get to keep for the entire year
Ooh.
until the next winner is crowned. So that's what you get. How do you do it, Jerry? How do you partake in Snarf Madness?
So you're gonna go to snarfcomics.com
Yes.
and you're gonna get the PDF.
Yes, so you
You
go to
can-
snarfcomics.com/madness. Or
Oh.
you could just go to snarfcomics.com and on the top, right on the navigation on the top, there'll be a link for Snarf Madness. You click that and you'll be able to download the bracket and you can print it off, you can fill it out,
And then
and you
send
can
it back
send
to
it back
us.
to us. Either you can scan it and email it, or you can use some sort of fancy PDF filler inner
How? Okay.
to do it.
However you fill her in her.
Or you can
Technology's a bad motherfucker.
yeah, or you can take a picture of it and text it to Jerry or I. And if
I
you
don't
don't
care.
have Jerry or me's cell phone number, then you need to email it to us.
info
At
at
info.
snarfcomics.com.
Yes, info@snarfcomics.com. Very easy.
Very simple email address. So even if you just type out your winners, so whoever wins the first set of brackets, like first, second, third, however you want to do it, if you email us the winners of each bracket, we will score them.
Yeah, we'll scar them for you.
So, info@snarfcomics.com.
And what's our point structure, right? So for the first round, you get 1 point per pick.
1 point. And
Second
then,
round is 2.
Yep.
Third round is 3.
Correct.
And then it goes, the fourth round is
5.
5. And then we'll announce the points later. It's
thought
going to
it
be
was 5.
exactly the same as last year.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was offhand, but for the championship, you get like 10 points.
I thought it
can't
was
remember.
5 and then 10.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. We'll figure that out.
Either way.
Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter.
All you need to know is that the championship and the Final Four and the Elite Eight are worth a little more points.
Right. Every single step you make
Is worth more points.
more points. But the biggest thing is you're trying to match Chris or Jerry's bracket.
And also, it's not about who would win in a fight.
No.
No
It doesn't matter about
fisticuffs.
power.
Who is a
Doesn't-
better comic book character? Think about the history of the character, the iterations of the character, and who you think would be the most impactful. Or I'm going to just tell you the way I'm going to look at it, and this will be a little bit of a insight into my bracket. I'm going to look at a character that's been most impactful to the genre, to myself, and to popular culture. I'm going to weigh those 3 categories, and I'm going to make a decision based on that.
That's tough, man. It's gonna be. You piqued my curiosity. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah. So, and also, so anyway, snarfcomics.com/madness, or you can go to snarfcomics.com and click on Snarf Madness right on the top of the page. You can download the bracket. You can either print it off or you can fill it out on your computer and somehow just get it back to info at snarfcomics.com or text it to Jerry and I, and you'll be entered to win. We are going to start doing picks, guys, on the March 6th episode. So you have 2 weeks to get brackets in. 2 weeks. Really almost 3 weeks, but 3 weeks. I guess you got 3 weeks to get brackets in. How this will work is every week we'll do one round. And then probably in the last episode, we'll do the Final Four and the championship at the same time.
Yes.
So it'll take us about, 5 weeks or
5
something?
weeks.
It'll end up in early April. And it's going to be like the first half of the episode. Now, the first round, since there's lots of picks, it'll probably be an entire episode. And then as we go on from there, it'll take up less and less time.
Yes.
But that's how you follow along, and you score your brackets. As you follow along, you listen to the podcast every week, and we will announce our picks, and you will score yours, and we'll score yours, and we'll go from there. Last year we had probably a dozen or so entries. I want to get way more.
Upwards
than
of
this year.
$200 worth of prizes for the people that win.
Yeah.
So, and there
Plus,
are 2 winners.
Year-long bragging rights and a trophy.
2 winners.
Yes.
People, 2 winners.
I'm more worried about the trophy.
So we should make it. We should literally make.
We are going
trophy.
to make a trophy.
Yeah,
and it
that's
will
a
have
good
a goat
idea.
on top of it.
All right. So, really, what we should have said to begin with is Happy Valentine's Day. I hope we are your Valentine.
Yeah.
Isn't this coming out like the week after Valentine's Day?
No, it's coming out tomorrow on Valentine's Day.
Oh, it is.
Day.
Holy shit. This is like the first time ever. Oh, Happy Valentine's Day.
Exactly. Happy Valentine's Day.
And to
Thank
my
you
wife,
for
who
listening.
I've gotten nothing for and plan to get nothing for,
Yep.
this is your Valentine.
It's a Hallmark,
And
it's
to
a
my-
Hallmark holiday.
And to
Fuck
my
it.
wife, I've gotten everything for. And everything you've ever wanted
And Jerry.
from me.
A little bit of Jerry.
All of Jerry. Dude, all of me goes to my wife. Thank you for listening.
And a certain amount goes to the Snarf Talk listeners.
Thank you for being a listener. Thank you for being a supporter of Snarf Talk. I appreciate you. Chris appreciates you. Dude appreciates you.
Yep.
We all appreciate you. Thanks for following us and being a supporter of what we do, because this is what we love, and it's something that we couldn't do without you supporting us. So we appreciate it.
Before he early ends this podcast, we need to talk about a certain artist that we know that is creating a new logo for us.
We do.
And
Eric.
his name is Eric Macias. He made an amazing caricature of us last year at Wizard World.
Oh, I was gonna say C2E2.
Yeah, last year at Wizard World.
Wizard World, yeah.
And we got in contact with him again, and we asked him, we're like, hey, we want to update our logo, make it. In our caricature, he drew a goat, cartoon goat, and we loved it. And we're like, hey, we want to redo our logo with a more fun goat.
Yes.
And we said we want you to reprise that drawing and kind of draw us something cool. So he's drawing us a new logo. And
with the goat and us in it.
Yes. Well, we don't really know for sure.
So are you guys riding the goat like you were the Titanic? The one
maybe.
We don't. We will release him when it gets done. But he is a super amazing, talented artist. The stuff. I mean, there was about 10 people doing caricatures there.
He literally did this in 35 minutes,
and we stood there for an hour just to specifically wait for him. He did everything in what do you call those things? Chalk? Like not chalk, but
it's like
charcoal. Not charcoal.
Oh gosh, why can't I think of it?
They're like
it's like
crayon, but like
pastel.
Pastels.
It's a color, not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was what it was.
What you're talking about? They're like chalk crayons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, pastel.
Yeah. Anyway, he's amazing, and we're bringing it up because he is going to be at C2E2. It'll be in 2 weeks from now, right?
1 week.
I'm going to miss that.
A week
February
from now.
28th.
Yeah, February 28th, 29th, and 30th.
Through March 2nd.
No,
I'm
March
so
1st.
disappointed. I'm going to be in Texas.
But he's going to be at C2E2. He's going to be at his booth doing more caricatures. He's amazingly talented. It's not that expensive. He will draw whatever you want. It's really interesting.
You can literally go to him and say, I want you to draw me as this.
Yeah.
And he will do it.
Yeah. It's
in a matter of minutes in front of your eyes.
In not just the caricature, but the backgrounds and everything. It's really great, and it's super cool that he would do this for us. Honestly, like he has no reason to, but he is totally doing it because he's an awesome dude.
A very great
So we
guy.
want to shout him out, and we're going to be singing his praises for the next several weeks. We really want people, if you're listening, you're going to C2E2, you need to stop by, tell them that you heard about it from Snarf Talk Podcast. His name is Eric Macias. His Instagram, this is the most important thing. This is really all we need you to do. Go and follow him on Instagram right now. EMAN MACIAS. Eman Macias. Who needs to get an easier Instagram?
Yeah.
Eman Macias. EMAN MACIAS. But we'll be shouting him out on Instagram and Facebook, which will be a lot easier for you to follow. So,
for a while.
But all his Instagram is his amazing artwork. So whether or not
he knows how to draw,
it's amazing just to get great artists to have things pop up on your Instagram because it's something interesting to look at every day. So check it out. And we're super excited about his logo that he's doing. And that's it.
All right.
That's all I got.
So for
Snarf Madness, check it out. Get your brackets in. You got 2 weeks. Go.
That's all you got. 2 weeks. So for this episode, I'm Jerry.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Dude.
See ya.
See ya.